spring that are coming, signs of new life and warmer weather that I know lift each of our spirits. But I do pray for those in this circle tonight who are not feeling well, who are under the weather, that you boost us up and give us the energy that we need to do what we're called to do. And we pray a blessing over tonight, this meeting that we share together. I pray that it be productive and meaningful for each of us. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Are all the agendas being used?
I can share. Do you want one,
I
Cheryl?
brought my own.
I wouldn't mind having one just to follow along.
I can go my phone.
Okay, oh, no, thank you.
I can look them.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Right, so review of last month's minutes, which was the beginning of this month. Thank you again for your last minute flexibility there. I have one minor correction. It was March 3rd, not March 2nd, I believe it was.
Yeah, I know, that was my
Yeah.
fault. Yes, I'm sorry. I realized that after I had printed it out and sent it to everyone.
And I think I saw it and then I think I forgot about it. And
Yeah.
as I was printing everything off, I went, wait a second, there it is again.
Yeah, I will definitely fix that.
Everybody else read it? Any comments? Have a motion to approve these minutes? Ross, seconded by Todd. Thank you kindly. All in favor? On we go. Follow-up items from the minutes then. I know we talked about having a fit roundtable, a little, chance, another meet and greet chance after a service one Sunday. Did we finalize a date for that? And I think we had talked about an email blast going out. I think the date is going to be yesterday. I don't know if that went out.
Well, what we established was that by the 23rd, any feedback that was given by the congregation would go to
Oh, right.
your email. I don't know if you got anything.
I got nothing.
So it's been all quiet.
All quiet.
I think that's what we agreed upon being the means of collecting feedback and information. So that was yesterday, the deadline for that. So if nothing's come
We
through,
got nothing.
since then I've just heard, feedback from people, mostly positive. Some people just had a few questions that were fairly easy to answer, but I think it's been quite positive. I don't know, Ross, if you
Yep,
heard
no,
any.
everything's been positive.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything negative.
Feedback I received after people liked it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I don't know if we need any, we had some debate over, do we need like a town hall? Do we need like
Yes.
a voting
Yeah.
session or whatever it might be? And I don't know where we landed on that. Do you remember?
I thought we talked about having one more day available after the service, just to throw it out there if anybody wanted to have questions to meet over there. Maybe I was mistaken, but it's whatever the board feels comfortable with. It does feel like we have a significant amount of support around renovations, but it is a big key renovation. And Dave, yeah.
Yeah, I just recommend, I mean, we provided the opportunity, right? And we did announce that if anybody wanted any feedback, they could speak to you.
Yeah.
So maybe that's concurrence that people are on board with,
Mhm.
but.
Everybody feel good about moving forward then?
Amen.
All
And
right.
people have been looking, I mean, we've had the prints up.
It's been pretty
Yeah.
prominent there, yeah.
And so people have been, I noticed people last Sunday were looking at it. And so I think there's awareness in that.
So, and don't you think if the people had a problem, they'd have said it by now?
Typically,
Most-
I would
most
think
of
that
them.
either between an email or something,
Yeah.
either to myself or Pastor Steve or the church head office, I would think that would be vocalized by now. And if you want a coffee after church on Sunday, you got to walk right by it, so, or at least get pretty close to it.
True.
Okay, if everybody's comfortable with moving ahead then I'm eager to see what the 15 comes up with.
Okay.
And then barbecue date. I know we talked about it. I don't think we actually finalized the date for the barbecue.
I don't think so.
I think we were kind of circling around the Father's Day weekend, but then we were a little bit hesitant that do we do it on Father's Day? Is that better to do it on Father's Day or is it worse to do it on Father's Day? But I don't recall us ever locking in a date, and I don't see it in the minutes either. Did we
No,
want to
we
lock in a
didn't.
date for that now, or?
Probably should.
Father's Day, the 14th or the 7th?
Usually
Or third.
Thought it was later, yeah.
It's 21st.
This is June, right?
June, yeah. I mean, we've got a little bit of time
The
still, but
21st,
yeah.
Father's Day.
Oh, I was gonna say 21st, yeah, there we
So
go.
we had it the
Feel
week
like it's
after.
a good idea to have it on Father's Day or not a good idea to have it on Father's Day?
I think they might have a lot of people having special dinners and stuff at their homes. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you usually take your mom out for dinner. I don't know about your dad.
You make your dad barbecue.
Yeah,
So the alternate is the 14th of June,
This weekend, yeah, the week before is
the
the
week before
14th.
Father's Day.
Yeah. I don't have a strong preference or opinion one way or the other. Was there a reason why we were leaning away from the 14th before?
Typically, we had it the week after Father's Day, did we
Is
not?
that what it's been?
Well, I'm looking at 2025 last year, and Father's Day was on the 15th of June, and the church picnic was the 22nd.
I see. So yeah.
So just the way the
Okay.
calendar shifts this year, makes it
14th
kind
and
of,
the 21st.
yeah, because if we did it after Father's Day, that put us on the 28th of June, which is right near Canada Day weekend.
Mhm. The
you
weekend
wanna avoid that
before
one.
Canada Day, the weekend before, but yeah.
14th
getting
seems
pretty
like the
close, yeah.
natural pick for this year.
The weather's nice by the middle of June, where there's nothing else going on. We're away from the May long weekend.
Yeah.
I thought there was a reason why we were leaning against that. There's no church functions or anything that are holding that up, or
I think
I
so.
don't think so.
The 7th, there's something on the 7th, that's the only thing. And outside.
There it is.
What's 7th?
I'm camping
What
on the
is it?
7th. Aside from that, I don't know what's going on.
Piano recital.
Oh,
the
okay.
afternoon, okay.
Okay, so the 14th it is
I'm
then.
walking in for the 14th.
Okay, looking,
Oh,
Oops.
ECC BBQ. Perfect.
Is that missions does that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it with you from there then, Todd.
Well, what is the current understanding about the establishment of a barbecue team that Kim was gonna put together about that?
We had talked about it and Kim had brought it up and I think it was a good idea. He hasn't mentioned it again. I brought it back up to him once and he guess his kind of the way I kind of understood it was I think it would be good to have a team, but I would like to speaking for Kim, would like to manage just the food barbecuing portion of it. I don't want to manage the rest of the event. I kind of sparked a broader conversation, I believe, of, do we make more of, an event coordination, working group or something like that? And then Kim would be responsible for one portion of it and somebody else would wrangle up the rest. I don't believe we ever settled on any actions there.
So,
Apparently not, we do not have a barbecue team
okay,
yet.
so we'll talk to Kim and see if we can
Coordinate food again and we'll do events and whatnot like we always do, but do we want to start another working group, subcommittee coordinated to these kind of events? I mean, we only have a few a year. It would be nice to have one team that kind of just handles these, but I want to make a committee for every little thing that comes up. But it's nice if we have an established group of people that just knows what they're doing and can execute it. Just something we want to discuss deeper on, like a visioning day or a leadership day away, or in a, kind of a, special, bigger picture style meeting.
Do you see that folding into our hospitality team and coordinating and being responsible for all of our hospitality and meals and? Or is this a separate, just a barbecue thing?
That does make good sense. It would seem to be the kind of thing that would fall under the hospitality umbrella. I'm not sure that our current hospitality team would be eager for taking on that responsibility. Just based on the kind of scope they're taking on right now, I feel like that's not something they'd want to bring into their purview, but it does seem like the kind of thing that would fit well under the hospitality umbrella. So I don't know where that puts us in that respect. If we maybe need to expand the hospitality committee into a few more individuals that would then focus on, on that, but still kind of work under the whole hospitality umbrella might be how we have to execute it.
Oh, we've got time. Maybe somebody
Yeah.
could.
Would this come under that serving in ministry where they click off if they'd like to be involved in hospitality, that we could expand the team that way? Type of thing, and even if it becomes a list of people that you can start coordinating or documenting a list of people that you could run down with phone numbers and say, we've got coming up. Just same thing with security. We had a list that we start with.
Or formalize with the group, like we have a group every year that does the barbecuing and the core functions of the barbecue, and maybe just get a commitment that they're willing
Yeah.
to be on if they enjoy doing that
Mhm.
service, that. Just get their commitment, maybe.
Well, who wants to do what? I can talk to Kim again, but I feel like the response is going to be the same as last time, where he'll say, "I'm happy to buy food, I'm happy to cook food, but I don't want to organize the rest of the logistics of a barbecue day."
Mhm.
Well, the organizing part would be on mission, so,
Okay.
as long as Kim's willing to, and I'm sure he is, have to step up for that, then like missions. But yeah, we can get volunteers from our own committees, maybe too, ask people, Todd, if they need more help or whatever.
Okay, well, I would think for now, unless there's a move to adopt some bigger, broader thing, that we'll just work with Kim on
Okay.
trying to pull that together.
Do you want to reach out to Kim or you want me to do that?
Yeah, no, I will.
Okay.
Who's heads up the hospitality group? Who's the hair oversees that?
It's
Is that
Beamer, right?
Andy?
And
Yeah,
Evelyn's kind of
Yeah.
I've taken it.
shadowing.
Oh, she-
Is Krista with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on there. She's on mute right now.
Oh.
I'm assuming she's with us, yeah.
Hi there.
Oh, yeah.
Hi,
just-
Krista.
Yeah, hi everyone. I was just thinking about, I think we discussed the barbecue planning like earlier in the year in September after the Christian Growth and Nurture had their kickoff one. But could we just have it for now where like different committees are in charge of things? Like one committee's doing setup of chairs, another one does cleanup, and another does like serving food.
Might be a nice way to divide it up.
Yeah.
Can we
So-
blend our committees? Cause I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have issue. It'd be me. I got the seniors, so
Hmm.
the very seniors group.
Right.
Oh,
I can send an email out and just kind of give like 3 committees could have 3 areas and then see who wants to respond to those.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You sound so
Sounds
sad.
bad, yeah.
I'm-
Okay, well, that sounds good. I'm excited. Thank you all for jumping in and making this happen. I didn't put it down as an agenda item, but Barb, do we need to discuss anything more with respect to the job postings, putting those out there? I know we kind of talked about just staying on hold for a little bit, but I just wanted to give you an open up the floor in case there's anything we need to discuss in that respect.
Okay. I have gone ahead and spoken with Chantel,
Okay.
passed that by her.
Yep.
If she would be interested in taking on the role, I don't know if this title will work, but a facility booking
Okay.
administrator. So we got the booking part in, and she is very much
Oh, good.
interested.
Okay.
You know, I said it would be, and our vision is kind of to take it off of property per se of having to be involved in every one of them that come in. So she would be in taking them along with, you know, for a lot of them, it's pretty straightforward that we know that they would work. But anything that comes up that would be questionable, then she would bounce that off past her seat. But she's, you know, she knows what the building is like, the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Following that. I talked to her about, we would increase her hours by 5. And now I may have stepped out of that I can say this, but I said her 40 hours her schedule could be flexible in the sense that right now we have her coming first thing in the morning till in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times there's not anything really going on first thing in the morning. As long as it's not Monday, she could shift her schedule along so that she could cover the the time for security.
Yep.
And do some of the work that she didn't do, say in the morning, she'd be able to do during the security part. And
Mhm.
she's fine with that. So we'll be scheduling that and she doesn't have a problem with that. But there's going to be times where she's off. Of course, that week that Lisa's in here.
Hmm.
So she'll be off, as well as there will be weeks that we have more than, say, that extra 5 hours.
Right.
That I do believe we need a casual person. And that person, I said, we need to get in and trained.
Yes,
So
of
that
course.
he's here, or that she or he is here to cover for her. But that's kind of what I think we need to get done right away, because there's some times coming up where she's already booked a week's vacation. But she is interested.
Okay.
We just have to, I talked to her, now she wants to see it in writing and then go
Yeah.
from there, if that.
Well, that's encouraging. I like the idea of tasking her in that way, and I think she'd do really well with it, and I'm glad that she's enthused about it.
Yeah, I said to her, this will give you, I said, not everything is perfect yet, as far as I still see where there's things where we go, but she'll be able to be doing that all the way along, and have her input will help develop the program better.
Yeah.
And to be able to manage it better. And I think it's just another, gets her involved in something else besides what she does. Because really, when I got looking at it, she does a lot of stuff for people. Any of the folks that come in, she monitors all
Oh,
of
yeah.
that, directs them to all of that. She has a very good handle on the building, and keeps everything definitely coordinated. So that is where I'm looking. And also with that, I said we would definitely be increasing the rate to take on these extra responsibility. So those are the two kind of that I think we need to deal with right away. And then the communication person, we're ready to go. If we could find that 8-hour person that would take on all the, the website and the
Okay.
social media and all of that type of thing. And then I think we'll just move into, I wanted to talk to Dave earlier about the bookkeeping at some point anyway, but move into that one, and it's coming up to the 14th of April. So we'll know what we're gonna do moving forward with Brendan.
Okay. Is there anything you need from the board to move
As long as you're,
forward?
I hope I didn't overstep my.
I don't
my
think so, not at all. I thank you for
So how many
taking this ball
hours-
and running with it.
How many hours does Chantel have now and what does this increase to?
35,
So
she'll go to
make
40.
40?
So, and I think she'll, I don't know that we'll need that extra person a ton, but there will be 4 weeks she's off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And last year we ran into a problem where, now one thing, she has booked a week vacation quite a bit ahead. We're not gonna do that the Friday before, it's still that we're not gonna be here on VBS week. So
I
it's
see,
just
yeah.
making sure we've got that all covered, because it's not, to use the wrong word, but it's not fair. It's not to, we want to make sure that we're putting that in place.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and we have an expanding facility with an expanding use, and we're going to need expanding,
Mhm.
janitorial and custodial staff to cover that. So no, I think that's very reasonable.
Mhm. And now, when I looked, and although I spoke to Pastor Steve this morning or this afternoon on the serving in ministry form, we had called it the site supervisor. They needed to be a member. But if we call it the facility booking administrator, and as he said, she's an employee, then it's not necessarily that she needs to be a
Right.
member. But I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So that's where we're heading.
Okay.
And I'll talk with her now that I have it in writing,
Yeah.
And I said, I passed it all by the board anyway, and everybody seemed quite enthusiastic about it, and she is as well. But she does want to see it in writing first.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Carry on then. That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
That's an easy one. The others where they
Yeah,
come
yeah.
from.
Okay, any more questions for Barb? Spectacular. And then I got one more thing not on the agenda here. Darko, well, we got you on remote here. Just curious, I know the nominating committee reports are going to be coming up in the next little bit. I just wanted to have a chance to touch base with you on that and see how things were going, and if there's anything you needed from the board to move ahead with that.
We did not meet or schedule any meetings since last meeting of the board, but it's something that we will look in, kind of restart now, but there was no action on that front up to this point. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's great. I think the nominating committee report is targeted to come out in May sometime, correct?
Yeah, we have to.
I believe so, yes.
We need
So I will
2%
contact
members, yeah, involved.
Yes, present to the members in May. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I will, can you send those dates to me for that May meeting, and I will contact Kim. He's our chair of the committee, so we will schedule and start that process to be ready for by May.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, we can pick the date.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think we
can
have a
pick the
date for a
date.
May meeting, but we could pick that too tonight.
It's whenever, it's basically whenever the nominating committee
Yeah.
feels they're ready to present, and
Okay.
they obviously have 2 weeks advance notice for
Yeah.
the meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
But, does Darko have the alignment of how many new members, or how many people are coming off the committees and how many
I counted 11.
positions?
Really?
We have
May 20th.
myself, Nick, Vic, and Cheryl. So for only Danielle's gonna be left on our committee.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
At the end, so we have 4 coming.
But can some of those people be asked again?
Yeah, some of the members can be, or some of the committee members, I don't think Cheryl can.
Nick could, because he just
Nick
started.
could, and Vic, I don't think Vic can, so Nick might be able to, yeah.
Is Jeff on?
Oh, sorry, Jeff is on there, my bad, yeah. Yeah, Jeff too.
Darko, do you have a count of how many positions we need to fill there?
No, I do not on me, sorry.
I just suggest maybe we should email Darko with the people that are coming off our committees and who could.
I see.
To help if you want. I mean, I know I can do that. I can email them and just say, you can re-ask Nick, Jeff is still, and it would leave us 3 vacancies, but Nick can be re-asked or whatever.
Okay, yeah, if I could bug all of the committee chairs then to email in Darko, status of your members, if there is a, member or two that you think either wants to or should be sticking around for a second term, and how many vacant seats you should have coming up.
Just so they know exactly.
Yeah, so we're all on the same page with
Yeah, I do have the last list of office, or what do they call it? All the listing of committees with
committee.
members and the terms that are left. I can send that out to
Oh, good.
all of you right now, if you'd like that. Yeah, the nominations list
Yeah.
from last year.
Actually,
Yeah.
that leads me to a question,
Sure.
because you can find that list on SharePoint.
That is
Be
there,
on
isn't it?
there.
Yeah.
But we talked about SharePoint last time. And
Yes.
so we should pick up on that.
Yep.
And maybe with Darko's advice to know what's happening and how does that proceed. And I went looking for the minutes from the meeting in February, the church meeting. Because you've distributed them to us,
Mhm.
but I couldn't find them on SharePoint.
I think you'll find them in there now,
Oh,
because I
Yeah.
I was sitting at the computer quite a bit
Okay.
this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to admit, like, I talked to Darko today, I have to get some more training from him, because I don't know what to do with my stuff. Like what I want to do is pick it up and drop it somewhere, which is exactly what I've been doing. And I know that's what he doesn't want me to do. It's like creating this link or something. I understand there should only be one copy of it, but it is very unclear to me how to do that. And so I think I might have talked him into doing a little PowerPoint thing, that will
I'll
come
sit
in
with you as
handy.
well.
Pardon?
I'll join you.
I know, I thought of you, Barb, too, like, and it'll come in for, like, very handy for subsequent people on the board.
Oh, yeah, no, we need that for sure. I'm starting
It's a
going through
very
it a little bit.
simple
Dave, you prompted me to get all the
SharePoint
invoices and payment draws all done up for the
Yeah.
building. I had about, I say 2/3 of them all in there, but I realized, oh, draw 7 is missing and draw 14 is missing. So I went through and got them all set. Draw 1 to right, draw 15, I think is where it stopped at. So those are all set with the change orders and the invoices and the progress payments and everything else. But one thing at a time, I do want to keep going through it and start going through and just making sure that we've got a good history of documents that are in some kind of organized fashion laid out, so that we can go back and see an old committee meeting, an old board of directors meeting. And I'll still be bugging each one of you as applications come up.
Gary.
Hello.
You're interrupting. If anybody else comes in, we might have a couple of men come in.
right.
We're in the youth room.
You through.
Yeah.
Not in the chapel.
No. There's no tables in there set up. So
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else that we covered last meeting that we need to follow up on or talk about anymore? Right, if that is it, then let's move on to the Easter service plans. Aaron is not here today. He is traveling. I'm
Sounds
assuming
like
he's
that, yeah.
got, pardon me,
He's on his way back.
on his way back. I think he's traveling back right now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's got the majority of the Easter plans under control. I can follow up with him later. Does anybody else have anything notable we need to know or coordinate or get ready for Easter? Beyond seating and capacity of people, which is the next topic here.
I don't think there's much. It's kind of similar to what we have previous years. The only addition is we have the Christ and the Passover on the Wednesday night, leading up to Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday. And yeah, I guess the big question is the seating capacity overflow. Other
Yeah.
than that, everything's lined up. Communion, we're doing communion on Good Friday as
Okay.
well as Resurrection Sunday. That's all been coordinated.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, we don't have any special plans or anything out of the ordinary there.
Okay, then what do we want to do about seating capacity on Easter Sunday? There's been a couple of Sundays, obviously, where we've been getting closer to capacity, and Easter Sunday is obviously a very, very well attended Sunday. How do we think we're going to be capacity wise and seating wise, and what do we want to do to mitigate for potential overflows? Yeah,
So I did pull, I don't know if anybody had a chance.
Yes, I looked at it, yeah.
I did send
That's
out
really
the data just from went back to 2014.
okay, wow.
Which was kind of interesting just to see. And I highlighted the Easter Sunday attendance over.
Right.
2014. I noticed, I think last year was about 374.
Okay.
And that seems to be a couple of years around the 370. We had one year that was
It's over 400.
400 and
Woohoo.
some odd people.
Is that when we used to invite the other churches?
That was Good Friday. Well,
Yeah.
we had a couple Good Fridays that were
Yeah,
almost
where-
400.
yeah.
We used
Okay.
to have the other churches.
Yeah.
I didn't include those, but the Good Fridays, just for interest sake, that's where the attendance was, and I'm not sure. I remember we had chairs out in one year for Easter Sunday. We had chairs out there in the.
Yes.
I do recall that one year, yes, yeah.
Yeah, we had over 400.
Pardon me.
So what do we think? What do we want to do?
Yeah, one of the suggestions that I've heard, I think Todd, you and I were talking about it, and also PCW. We were talking about the idea of an overflow area, and there's a few options for that. In terms of like casting or live streaming the service, it's not very hard to do. All you really need is a laptop and a projector anywhere, and you can do that. And so it's a matter of what space would be ideal and how much seating we can put into that space. So a few of our options would be chapel. Another one would be the outreach lobby. Both of those spaces hold about 40 comfortably, if you get the seating just right. So that would be a little bit of a measure to add some space if we need to have overflow. And we can let people know, week in advance, and we can do all the usual email outs and awareness that we do with our congregation to let them know there is overflow. And we can prompt our ushers to have that ready to go if we start to see things really fill up and they're struggling to play Tetris with all of our people. We can send them to those other alternate spaces if they would like to. One of the things that I'd like to do this coming Sunday is to just do a bit of an awareness around parking and just general awareness around how you sit in a pew and how you make room for others leading up to that Sunday. And so we'll have this Sunday, which is Palm Sunday, I think, this week. And so that gives us a little bit of lead-in time for Resurrection Sunday, which is usually our fullest service. So yeah, creating some awareness I think would be helpful, but it's a matter of which of those spaces would be best for that type of thing, or both.
So Krista, is there still Sunday school in the chapel?
Yeah.
As of right now, yes. Did you need it for Easter weekend?
Well, that was just one of the possibilities that Steve mentioned. The other one was the foyer in the outreach center. So maybe that's the more natural place to send people.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be moved until those rooms were like opened up, right? Like room 5 and 6. That was the idea of opening those rooms, like the wall between them.
Yeah.
So that, so I don't believe that's done yet.
The foyer and the outreach center.
Yeah, the foyer is ready to go.
Yeah.
Like it's got all the technology in there ready to just click a button and do it.
That would be a good spot.
Yeah.
For Heron Terrace, are we permitted to park over there? or not, or have we asked, because some of the regular attendees could just naturally just go park over there to free up some space if we knew that we could park there. Not sure.
And anytime I've tried to park there, it's always full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have people in our lot. parking
Oh, okay.
from-
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I was just thinking,
We're overflow for that.
I was just thinking if there's an alternative
I know.
lot, right?
Yeah. Maybe when they build a plaza over there.
Yeah.
You were doing really good, right where you
Oh,
were.
I'm sorry.
Where is it? No, we're good.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, I'd like to mention something on Sunday about parking and how to make that a bit more efficient. And to be aware that Resurrection Sunday is usually a very densely packed and well-attended Sunday. So come early, be prepared, park efficiently, carpool, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's the most attended Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, are we going to know after this Sunday whether we expect to require volunteers to go over to the outreach center, or can we can it happen on the fly on Sunday morning?
Stupid question. The old library isn't big enough to hold overflow, is it?
Kind of
Could we, is it kind of cramped? I was gonna say, I mean, it's nice being so close to the sanctuary there. You would still, I mean, you still
That's
kind
kind
of
of a
hear it
chapel
through the
idea.
doors. You really still feel like you're a part of it without wandering over to a whole separate facility through a door. And now you're
Yeah.
just watching a screen. If
Especially
you
if they're
were,
newcomers.
if it was kind of in your periphery, you'd still kind of feel like you were a part of the service.
The other thing is with the chapel, I mean, I that's where my preference would be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the service, when you empty the chapel out, you empty this out, and you've got the kids running from their Sunday school area. That little hallway, that corridor is gonna get,
Now, if we did the kids in the outreach center lobby instead. So you'd have half the kids would be in the old, in
Good
the youth
idea.
room, half would be in the
Yeah,
good
outreach
point,
center
yeah.
lobby, then they'd all be out
More
of that
manageable.
wing of the
Yeah, I
building
think
when the
that's
service got
right.
out, so you wouldn't have this boom, this giant congestion, and then you'd have people in the chapel still kind of ish part of the
yeah.
part of the sermon again, still kind of hearing it in the background, and then it's a very quick redirect, right? You go in, I'm sorry, we're full, but we have, the chapel's right here with the screen, it is set up and ready to go.
Good idea, Joe.
So
So
that
far, yeah.
requires Krista's, okay, though.
It does require Krista's okay, yes.
I'm gonna say it would be easier to serve communion to the chapel than to.
Yes.
head up to the
Right.
lobby.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be a long walk.
So Krista, what say you?
Sniff, sniff. That's what-
One sniff for yes
Wait, can
and
you
two
just-
sniffs for no.
Sorry, can you just refresh me on what you were deciding
Can
on?
we use the chapel on Easter Sunday?
have the
Oh, you
kids-
wanted to use the chapel, go back to that.
Yeah, and have the
Um,
kids
And
down
the
in
kids go to
the
foyer,
outreach center?
The lobby of the outreach center.
Oh, the lobby. Yeah, it's just that one class, so I don't see why that wouldn't work. Yeah, I'll write in my notes.
Okay.
Chapel then?
Okay.
They go there for Kingdom Kids, so.
I go there for Kingdom
Easter.
Kids. Yeah, it's right kitty corner to where the older kids go in the old youth room. Then you've actually got both kids right the same area.
Easter weekend service. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to talk about logistically in
So
terms of?
would it be
Yeah.
just, latecomers get funneled there, or would it be, we try and fill that first and
Oh,
get volunteers? to
good
go
question,
there?
yeah.
It might be nicer to encourage volunteers to go,
Mhm.
people who are well established here. Because if you think about the dynamic of someone new, they're wanting to explore church, they've been invited out. All of a sudden you have to go into the overflow.
Mm.
That's a bit of a, what, I don't know what the word is, a downer. in a way.
Yeah.
But if we have someone who's just, one of our well-established people, it's not going to phase them for a Sunday. So
Yeah.
we could encourage some of and maybe part of that announcement on Sunday is that we'll be overflow. We want to encourage to make room for, maybe the whole theme of that announcement can be, let's make room for people.
Mhm.
And so here's 4 ways to do that.
Do you actually want to sign up? Do you want somebody taking volunteer names?
I do like the idea that some of the regular
Mhm.
people that wouldn't be put out by going down there,
Yeah.
make room.
Well, it's just gonna be in here, right?
But
Yeah, chapel.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
maybe like the.
And possibly people with, even our longtime people with children should probably stay in there. just because you're drawing the children up to the front, it would be difficult to take
Yeah.
them from,
Yeah.
so I'll volunteer to be in the line.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I'm saying.
It's good point.
Yeah, should we have people sign up and volunteer so everybody kind of knows where they're going? Like, should we make an announcement about that? And should they
Okay.
email
Figure out how
the
to announce it,
office
yeah.
or do you want to have ushers just kind of mention it to people on Easter Sunday morning? How do we want to handle that?
I think just
Yeah,
an
Just
announcement.
announcement.
Yeah,
would be- I mean, if you just encourage people that way. we can- so-
Yeah, I'll do a special announcement this week,
Yeah.
and maybe we can do it at the end of the service, so it kind of sticks with people.
Ooh, good
stay
idea.
In their mind.
Yep.
And I'll just highlight like 4 ways to make room for others. That's for the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ross,
Is-
is adding chairs a fire marshal problem with the room? Are you aware of any limitations on that?
No, we'll be within regulations. The
How
chapel
about
holds
adding a
everything.
chairs
Is he talking
on
about
a
adding
side where
chairs
we
to
have
the
a,
sanctuary?
Oh, we're okay for one, I think. We get away with it. Is that a right thing to say? We get away with it?
What is it? What are you talking about?
Well, Doug was asking about adding chairs to the
We
sanctuary.
do add them for the little bit that's there. I don't think it's gonna give me a problem.
I believe our sanctuary is rated for 400 people.
A little bit
And
more
we
than that.
generally
There's
aren't
420.
able to squeeze 400 people into the pews. People generally spread out more than that. So
Yeah.
we're not limited to how much seating capacity we can put in the chapel. We're limited to or in the auditorium. We're limited to how many persons we can put in the auditorium.
Yeah.
So I think we're safe to put up extra chairs as long as they're not blocking fire
Right.
exits.
It's
And as
kind
long
of-
as our person capacity doesn't go over the limit.
It's kind of a fine line, because if you put too many chairs in here, then you end up with 5 people sitting in.
Right, yeah.
there. It's good point. I don't know. Make sure everybody's comfortable, but
Should we maybe not plan for extra chairs in the sanctuary, but have a few stacks on standby in case we have to pull them out quickly as a stopgap? If by chance the chapel fills up and the auditorium is filled up, we can toss them out in the back really quick, but we don't present them as a primary option.
Sure.
Yeah, just keep them handy.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to talk about for Easter then? Spectacular. Now, what about moving into long term? This may be something we need to discuss in greater detail on, again, a visioning day or a leadership day away, but we kind of did touch on that last leadership day away. And Todd, as you mentioned, we are frequently becoming more and more full. Is this something we want to start implementing on a regular basis? We're already talking about getting the classroom wall knocked out and having a bigger classroom, and that will put the 2 ages of kids in different classrooms, so the chapel will routinely be free. Does that work as a stopgap for us for a little while if we regularly have the chapel set up with a live stream and a handful of chairs? And if we hit just that peak flu Sunday, Mother's Day Sunday or whatever, that are maybe not expected to blow it out seating wise, but are still just getting a little extra full, does that allow us that extra flexibility?
what is the seating capacity? Sanctuary.
Well, I think you
Occupancy
said it's
capacity
like
is 400.
It is 400.
We've taken a couple of pews out now. I don't know,
Just
but
like butt to butt.
Yeah. because-
400 is pretty
that's
squishy in there.
very tight.
Yeah.
And we did take.
22 inches of butt.
We did take out probably 20 or so the south.
yes, we did. Yeah.
So you're
We're okay
probably,
with some chairs. It's that.
like, we've been, again, just recently looking at the data, right? We've had some Sundays with 330-ish people. And I kind of showed like half of our Sundays this year have been over 300 capacity so far.
Does that include children? That include?
That, all I did was take
Yeah.
the ushers,
That
that
does
would
include
that would
children.
include everything.
That's included.
We've gone around about that issue of, that once children leave,
Yeah.
sanctuary feels
Yeah.
plenty roomy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't before the children go. So do we want children there? Well, yes, we do. So it presents a problem because it's crowded when people are arriving, but then it eases off.
Yeah, that does pose a bit of a logistical challenge because there is.
Steve, how hard is it to live stream like on the spur of a moment in the lobby when all of a sudden it's Mother's Day and we didn't account for it, but there's suddenly a big crowd.
We already live stream to this lobby every Sunday.
It's really quite easy. We have that, even that portable TV. You can, as long as you've got, like, we have a projector in the chapel, a projector in the outreach wing, projector in the mezzanine. All of those just require a laptop to be hooked up and you're off to the races.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like that's a 2-minute solution. Like somebody's got to go find a computer then.
Yeah, essentially.
It could be set up as a very easy every Sunday thing. Like we already broadcasted the TV in the lobby every
Yeah.
single Sunday, and I'm assuming Darko gets that all under control, but I don't think it's an onerous amount of effort. I think it would be quite easy to set that up so it was just a routine thing. Worst case scenario, we buy a cheap laptop that can just stream our YouTube stream or connect
like
into our
a
connect into our
Fire Stick.
sound booth. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Fire
in the
stick and-
mother's room too.
That
It's
too,
going
yeah.
on in the mother's room too.
Yeah, yeah, and it's already set up a live stream
Yeah.
in the mother's room. Like we have several places in the church that live stream during the service anyway. Setting up another one, I don't think would be an issue.
Mhm.
Darko, you can correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, it would be very easy, just a Fire Stick or either Roku stick, any of them have a YouTube app.
So what are our thoughts long term? Obviously, I think we want to delay multi-services for as long as possible. That is a significant logistical step. You want to wait till that was absolutely necessary.
Yeah, so at our recent, like PCNW has these seasonal meetings, P4 meetings, pizza, prayer, praise, and planning. Which is the 4 Ps. I think that's 5 Ps actually. And our last one, I wanted to take some time to focus in on children in the service and how we view that as a priority and what place do families and children's have within our worship service. And I just wanted to ask some questions around that to establish. Because we have had that question about, do we just have the kids checked in right as the parents are coming, you send them off to the kids program, parents go to the sanctuary. That way you obviously deal with some of that ratio of kids and adults type of thing. But I wanted to ask the bigger question about values and ministry and kind of our vision around that. And I think the overwhelming sense, and you were there too, Todd. weren't
No,
you? You weren't at the last one.
I missed it too.
The overwhelming sense that I got from the rest of our worship people and those involved is we really want the children to be present with us in worship. We want them to be nurtured in that aspect of faith and not for it to be a foreign thing to them. And so I wanted to kind of poke around and feel that out a little bit. And it's generally where I land as well. I do want to have as much as possible children to have that experience of being with their parents, their grandparents, their church family, and experiencing the whole church family worshiping. In terms of long term and going to 2 services, that of course opens up the need for a lot of logistical and volunteer realities it's going to take quite an effort to double what we do on a Sunday morning in many ways. It's not impossible, but it is something that's going to take a significant leap.
Yeah.
And I think our next P4 meeting is going to focus on what that would look like in terms of volunteers, worship teams, people serving in the service, what it would look like for us on a Sunday morning in terms of times of service and in between time for people to connect. How does that work with parking? Some of those bigger questions we have to look at. In the meantime, I think some of what we're talking about here is really valuable. These overflow spaces and creating some efficiencies where we can, I think are going to go, in the short term, they're going to go a long way for us to help alleviate some of that cramped feeling that we might feel on a Sunday. And so, yeah, creating some, in the culture of our church, a bit more awareness around making room for each other, making our parking a bit more efficient, having people park this end and fill that up first rather than out there. And so I think there's a lot of awareness pieces that we can bring to the congregation to help us in the short term, as we're perhaps looking at long term. Again, a big part of the long term strategy is, do we want to be the type of church that grows larger in number, or do we want to be the type of church that looks at multiplying and having alternate sites and planting new ministries? And that's, again, even bigger question than going to 2 services. And certainly my heart is more in that direction. If the Lord blesses us with greater numbers, I'd love to see us multiply and be able to plant other churches within the community. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I still want to be, planning in the meantime. Those are just some initial thoughts. So P4, we talked a bit about some of the values around that in terms of logistics. I think this coming Resurrection Sunday might be a good test case for us to see how that looks and how it feels. And we can have our thinking caps on and observing how can we take what's really good about this and maximize that so it can be even better. I'd love to engage in a bit of that research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we should be looking at short-term and long-term planning. One thought might be, for the overflow, I think that the foyer down in the outreach center is warm enough that maybe we should look at how do we structure that as an overflow area and have it ready. And then also just reserving some areas in the sanctuary for people that are coming out for the first time. We have some seating that's kind of reserved a little bit deliberately and encouraging some regular members to, rotate down into that outreach centers, maybe or to the foyer as a short term, but we should maybe look at maybe setting that up so it's already warm, I think, but just welcoming and from the media standpoint, having that.
Yeah.
Would you think that preferable or the
I
chapel?
was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I know that the children have been using the chapel area, and I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon.
I think the plan is for that to change once they get the wall knocked out between the two classrooms.
Okay.
And I
That
think
was my
and I
understanding.
think there's options too to
Yeah.
utilize the outreach center.
Yeah.
More on a Sunday morning and expand
Yeah.
into that area.
Yeah.
Because we have all that space up
Right.
and down and gym as well. So
Yeah.
I just think that, as somebody said earlier, for folks to feel connected to
Yeah.
what's going on in the service, there's
Yeah.
just more proximity there. And
If it's not,
there-
if it's not the foyer, the outreach center, I just think we need to decide on that fairly soon. And then I'll just also just have it. What's that going to look like? Are we gonna have the live stream set up, the seating, how quickly can we put the seating out? Will there be, and somebody there, usher, somebody at that area, welcomer?
Somebody who just kind of hangs out at the front, so to speak,
Yeah.
so it doesn't look like there's a
Communion
couple
look
dozen
like?
people there aimlessly.
If there's 40 people in here, what would the communion serving look like in there? Just things like that for at least short term.
Is it possible that we structure things in the overflow different, so it's got a totally different feel to it? I mean, right now, we don't really enforce the rule, but we ostensibly have the rule of no food and drinks in the auditorium. Maybe we kind of double down on it the opposite way. Maybe the overflow looks like some, instead of just, rows of chairs standing at a, staring at a screen. It looks
That's what I mean, like
it looks more cafe style and
Yeah, I was thinking that in my head also, that there could be you could try the cafe style, right, where some people might.
it could
Like
be a
that.
vibe that people like it a different way. And,
There's
yeah.
a church in London, a Pentecostal church, beautiful. I can't remember the name of it right now. Denise's church.
Yeah.
We went there. They can bring anything they want in the pew. And I'm telling you, it completely ruined my experience. That's what I needed to hear was people chewing. It was really
People were bringing
terrible.
bringing
For
snacks in?
me, personally, it was.
People were bringing snacks in?
There was a guy beside me with unwrapping a bagel from Tim Hortons.
That's great.
Yeah, whether it's a
Yeah, it was really disturbing to me.
Yeah.
Drinking is one thing, but a full meal during the sermon is.
Some people would like that. Maybe the
do,
overflow
obviously.
would have that vibe, and that might be the trade-off. Or you're taking overflow this Sunday and you don't get the live experience, but there's some muffins and bagels out and coffee, and you can get up and serve yourself during the service.
Can I ask Krista? That chapel isn't being used for like a general gathering and then kids sent off to different classrooms, right? That's just being used as one classroom.
Yeah, that's for the grade 1 to 3s. Yeah, just the one class.
So they could conceivably be served somewhere else if we were wanting to use that for overflow for church attendance.
Yeah, once that wall comes down between room 5 and 6, I think that's the idea.
Okay.
They'll move there. Mhm.
A sledgehammer moving, Ross.
Yep, we're working on it. We can't touch it till after Easter.
How does everybody's comfort level look around our, medium-term expansion plans? Or overflow plans? Do we think we've checked the boxes so that we don't have pain points on Sunday? We was mentioned about reserving a pew for newcomers. That's something we want to do like overtly, or like we want, put a rope up and deliberately take it. I also don't want to make a newcomer feel uncomfortable on a Sunday morning. Oh, you get the special
I
rope
know.
pew, and everyone's gonna look
We
at
need
you.
a segment in the service where
Yeah.
it's shine a spotlight.
There you go.
right on you. And now for the new, and like a camera. Camera on the screen.
Or do we just make it, something that's known to the regulars, right? That's, it's a semi-regular announcement. By the way, the, last two pews are reserved for newcomers. If you're not a newcomer here, please avoid those two pews and leave them empty. They wouldn't be marked, they wouldn't be roped off, they wouldn't be, deliberately guarded, but they would, hopefully, if people are paying attention,
Yeah.
following the rules, remain naturally empty.
You agree, I
In
don't
the
agree, you
Fiat.
don't want to have just, you haven't been here before, you go say.
Yeah.
No.
The First
I
Baptist
do it.
Church
I don't, I got
of,
an idea,
the First Baptist Church of Sevierville, Tennessee,
okay.
when you're in the service, they say, okay, would all of the congregational members sit down?
No.
Oh, no.
And the ones that are left are visitors, and they have this group of people that run around and give them little presents.
Oh,
Like there's like a pen and everything.
which is great for the extroverts. They love
Yeah.
that.
And
Most
you
people are
imagine, and
extroverts.
you're just kind of standing there, you're like, yeah.
And you may naturally just also just have some of the regulars, just if you do establish that the chapel is the overflow, that you just get some regular attend, if it's set up properly, just go there.
I bet you find your people that like that and just kind of find that's their home and that's their routine, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the ones
know, I
that
think
are
would be-
late that end up in the front.
There you go, yeah.
This-
I almost want to do like a special meeting after the service, just for members, like
Yeah.
long-term people, and just have like a training session. Like just a really simple mini seminar on how can we as established members make, kind of like what we're talking about this coming Sunday, but on a bit more of an intentional scale. Yeah, I'm wondering if there might be an opportunity there to educate and create a bit of that culture.
It's a great idea. We could roll.
You
that
don't
into-
want to do it on a Sunday when everyone's
No,
there.
no,
It's
no,
just
no.
kind of awkward for
That's
the rest.
you're right,
of the
that's a
people.
members only thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
but
business meeting, like a.
Yeah, we could roll it into the May business meeting, or would that be the same time we approve the audit, or?
Yeah,
we
the
do
audit.
that separate? Okay.
But, yeah, I was also thinking about that, we just pull all the regulars together. and
Let's have a hunt.
Look, guys.
Yeah.
The May board meeting is the 26th.
You know,
Pardon me?
you can- that's an
May
idea too,
board
right?
meeting is the
Where you'd have open discussion to maybe, have
The
some
May
of the
board meeting.
members propose that they don't mind the overflow, or have some other suggestions too. Maybe we just have that meeting with the members to say,
Yeah.
we're growing and we have to address.
Oh, you can see what kind of buy-in we
Yeah,
get. Do
see what
we
kind
get
of
a bunch of
buy-in.
people who say, I'd be willing to do that, or do we get a big bunch of blank stares?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody would want to do that every single Sunday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing it like even,
Do the
if
alphabet.
need be, but nobody's gonna,
First Sunday.
yeah.
Let them all stand.
You'd be surprised. I bet you have some people that do it, yeah,
Maybe.
to make it part of their.
I just know if I was
Or their
visiting
routine.
a church for the first time, I would want to be in the sanctuary.
You would.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's.
Because you wouldn't get
Yeah,
the.
you wouldn't want to
experience,
be in
right?
overflow your first time, not chance, yeah.
right, I'll put a bit more thought on that. In the meantime, if there's other ideas for awareness, let's bring it together, find ways to do it.
All right, that's brings us to our 1 year follow-up. I don't know if it's exactly 1 year, but I believe we did say that we would revisit our documents. That would be our statement of faith, our conduct and lifestyle policy, our covenant, and our serving and ministry application. I think we'd said we'd give them a kind of a preliminary review in March. And I don't want to monopolize tonight's meeting over it, because we've talked about these quite a bit, and not for not a good reason. They're, it's a significant thing to the life and structure of the church to add these documents in. But We've talked about it a lot, but I did want to open up the floor and I'd like to hear from all of you what your thoughts are. You've had a year to see them in action, to talk to people about them. I'm sure they've come up in conversation. You've had a year to think about it and reflect on it as we've had some, conversations back and forth about them at a board level. And I'd like to hear your inputs. What are your thoughts? How have they been going? What do we think about them? Don't everybody talk at once.
I
I
don't
have no
like,
word.
I grew up, I've not really had any feedback. It was accepted at that
Yep.
meeting, here's new policies and so on. And I haven't had any feedback really on it. Neither have I gone out looking for something either, but I mean, it seems to be flowing okay with, people around in my circle, I think, that,
And I,
associate with.
no one's come, I haven't heard anyone make
Okay.
any comments about them, negative or positive. No one's really said anything. They just accepted that's what we do, I guess.
I know that we've done some work to revamp and with serving in ministry, we were talking about having a bit more of a more definition around the types of roles within the church and the requirements for them. And so I know Aaron was working
We've been working on getting that.
pretty extensively on that. And I don't know if we're ready to, do you feel that we're ready to kind of update that document and?
Well, I know we brought it up several times over the last couple of meetings. I've tried to make sure that it stayed routinely on the agenda because it is something I wanted to not fall by the wayside. I wanted it to be done and be formalized. I know we haven't had a chance yet to get together as a board and look at where all these lands. I think right now Aaron's just got all the proposed, check boxes. What do you need to be a member for? What do you need to have a police check for? What do you need to have a completed serving and ministry application for? I believe he's got whatever he felt should go in there, plus the whatever is from the individual chairs is kind of how they thought things should go down. I know I haven't seen, I think I saw a preliminary a draft plan floating around at some point,
Okay.
but I haven't seen a finalized plan, and we haven't got a chance as a board yet to go through that and, line by line say, okay, what do we think are the appropriate check boxes for what positions? But I did envision a time when that would be looked at with a little more scrutiny. Obviously, I don't think it's ready yet, but I'm hoping it's progressing towards being ready.
Do we need to have just maybe like a special focus group to take what we've learned and just build a draft of an update and then share that with the board? How would that?
Potentially, it's probably something I think the board should do together since it's involving all the committees and it's starting with the input from each committee chair. I feel like it's something the board probably just needs to do as a board. I don't know. What's everybody else's thoughts on the matter?
So are we saying covenant, statement of faith, conduct and lifestyle policy, all good? We're talking just about serving in ministry?
Nope, we're talking about all the policies, including serving in ministry. All the ones we're talking about everything except the Constitution. I know the Constitution, we didn't really make any changes to, and we do have penciled in to give a review of the Constitution, but we haven't done anything yet. If there's something in particular we want to bring up about the Constitution, we certainly can, but I don't think that wasn't really the focus of we'll talk about that in March kind of thing. We were really talking about the new policies that we voted in, the statement of faith, the covenant, the conduct and lifestyle policy, and the serving and ministry application.
It's something that perhaps at our next board of directors meeting, we could all work together and devote most of the time of the meeting to that.
Okay, yeah.
Would that be something that would be the appropriate use of that time, or?
I think so. I had wanted to ask, and I know we're down a few people tonight, so maybe it's not the right night for it, but I had wanted to spark the conversation now and hope that we all spent a month thinking about it. And if it was straightforward, I hope we could come back next month with a motion to either, yep, everything is going good, these are perfect, let's keep on carrying on like this, and somebody make a motion to do that. Or someone says, you know what, this is pretty good, but we've noticed we've got a typo here, a tweak there, I think this needs to be adjusted and reworked, or complete disaster, sorry all that. I was hoping that we could, spend the month thinking and praying about it, and hopefully somebody had an idea or a motion in mind, and that we could, execute and finalize a path forward next month.
So-
If we think that's we're premature for that and next month is hey, dedicate some time to really talking about it in earnest, we can do that. And I'd like a motion maybe the month after that to, again, just move forward in a direction.
So I heard somebody say something about a further revised draft, and I thought I was hearing not covenant, not statement of faith, not conduct of policy, but that was referring specifically to the serving ministry application. Is that, do I understand right?
That's great, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest of those documents, I don't think we've had a lot of questions around that. In terms of statement of faith, there's been something that Pastor James and I have been talking about. We do have 9 points in the statement of faith, and Pastor James and I keep landing on a potential 10th that we're facing quite a bit in ministry right now. That's around the sanctity of life. So there's been obviously in the culture a growing concern around medical assistance in dying, and you can avoid it all you want, but it is hitting very close to home for all of us, and the stats are only showing that it's an increasing reality for people, especially who are chronically ill or terminally ill. That's becoming a really really challenging issue that unfortunately churches are kind of slow to the mark to be addressing that and talking about it. In the very least, Pastor James and I have talked about having just a personal pastoral statement on those things so that when it comes our way and we're interacting with the family, we can be clear with them on where we stand on that and what we affirm and what we're willing to not support or support in terms of their journey. And I will say this just on a personal note from what I've recognized in my pastoral care of people working in hospitals. It's getting to the point where MAID is being, instead of just an out there kind of option that people would pursue, it's actually being actively pushed on patients within the hospital.
Are you seeing this firsthand as in your role as a pastor
Yes.
and interacting with people?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they've got people that are dedicated to kind of doing the rounds and working within intensive care units and palliative care to make that a very clear option and
Really?
very accessible option for patients. And when you look at it from a worldly perspective, it makes a lot of sense. It's why have people suffer? Why have a burden on the system? Why deal with a difficult thing like this? Why can't we just do the humane thing and end life? And so that unfortunately it feels like a big wave that's coming into it's a big part of our culture that unless we're equipped and ready to give answers to it, we're really going to be overwhelmed by it as time goes on. So that's something Pastor James and I have talked quite a bit about. He and I are going to be working on kind of a personal pastoral statement as far as what we're concerned. But there's also a hope that perhaps it could be included in a statement of faith as well. So right now we have 9 points. This could be like a 10th point on the sanctity of life. And that would include things like, from conception to natural death type of language. And that's where he and I would land on it. But I want to be sure that that's something that our congregation would be affirming of, and I hope they would, before it would be proposed for addition to the statement of faith. So as for he and I, we're going to be working on that personally, and then hopefully that can be something rolled into a future statement of faith. But other than that, I think the point you're making, Todd, is that the main focal point of question was around the serving in ministry application. How can we, now that we're a year and a half into using it, how can we improve it? How can we add some clarity to it? How can we make it more helpful for people that are wanting to volunteer and take those first steps? And I think there's some work we can do on it.
So I think you mentioned that there's been some talk about redrafting or revising it, and there hasn't been anything produced yet to change what we have. It's on SharePoint, right?
It's on SharePoint. It's also online. It's also on our website.
All of them are?
Pardon me?
All of
Oh, they
them?
all are, yeah.
Good.
I hadn't heard any talk about redrafting
No.
the serving in ministry
Oh, I
application.
thought that's what I heard you saying earlier.
That was the service area list. Like what, so if we've defined all our volunteer positions, quote unquote, as, you know, as roles or job titles, what are the requirements for every role or job title? Some you have to be a member for, some you don't. Some you have to, have a police check for, some you don't. Some you have to have a serving ministry application signed for, some you don't. And that's a list that's being drafted and is still kind of in draft status as we, you know, kind of work with the committees and determine what are the requirements, what are all the roles we have in this church, and what are the requirements of them all. And
So
I,
what's that document called?
Areas of
Uh,
service.
Areas of
Areas of
service. Now, there was general talk about at the 1 year mark, which or 1.5 year mark, which would be today, is looking at all of the documents, including the serving a ministry application, and seeing if they needed any change. But as they stand now, they're not in draft status; they're in active status. You know, with
Yeah, so yeah, I guess what you're saying, the areas of service could be its own
Yeah.
standalone thing, right?
correct, yeah,
So it could be just simply a reference that people could look through and say, oh, I want to serve, want to get involved. Or as we're recruiting people, you know, you're new to the church, maybe you're a new member, let's find a way for you to serve. Here's a list of all the potential things you could do and the steps you need to
Yeah.
take to get there, including things like a police check or plan to protect or serving in ministry. And then we guide them through those steps. Is that kind of what you're?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or whatever that you just.
Yeah, so it could be just kind of like and it could even be something that we post for our people to look at, like on a bulletin board. And you know, if we're ever having
Mhm.
someone that's curious about
Yeah.
serving, take a look here and look at the requirements it takes to get into each of those areas, and let's take those steps with you. So I think that could be a standalone
Yeah.
type of thing. Because in order to change any of these, we have to go to the congregation and do a
Hmm.
Yep.
motion and a
Yes,
vote
exactly.
on all of these. With that document, it would
Yep.
essentially be a new thing that wouldn't.
That is a working document that
Yeah.
would change almost on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, you could
But
refresh it
as the needs of the
regularly.
church change and the roles
Yeah.
change and new committees are formed, and new ministries are formed, things are gonna be added to that and taken away from that
Yeah.
routinely. And that would not, it would not go out to a committee vote every time a new volunteer position is established, of
Yeah.
course.
And you could have it like every year have a new edition of it, like
Yeah, yeah,
this is the 2025, 2026 edition, or the 26, 27 edition, and have it posted so that it's a
Yeah.
reference for people. Yeah, I think we're well on our way to having it done. It's
Okay.
just a matter of
Yeah.
formalizing it.
I'd like to, yeah, it would be nice to get that done and formalized and have a look at that. But I think your observation to include something about the sanctity of life, especially as it relates to MAID, is a very prudent one. It's a big, you know, it's a hot button issue, and it's important for our members in our congregation to, you know where we stand in that issue. That brings forth though bit of an awkward coupling in these documents, and this is something we've kind of danced around before, where serving a ministry application requires you to affirm everything that we've put in these documents, affirm your belief and support of and concurrence of. And now we're crafting these documents around current cultural hot button issues. And it's important that the church clarify its stand with respect to current cultural hot topic issues. But by putting them in these forms, it feels like we're elevating them to a requirement of salvation, when where it's obvious we're deliberately picking cultural culture war items. And it is important for us to declare where we do sit on these important issues of culture and the culture wars. Um, Rolling them into forms, and I think we've already done this with the forms that we've set up, and we would continue to do this if we brought sanctity of life into it by, by making a requirement for fellowship in the church, which serving is a part of fellowship, by making a stance on abortion and a stance on MAID, rolls it into a requirement to fellowship with our believers in Bangor Community Church. We've done this already with several cultural issues in our statement of faith and conduct and lifestyle policy. And then we've asked people to sign them in the serving and ministry application. And we've had these conversations before, and I've expressed my uncomfortability with them before. And we would be doubling down on this process if we added in sanctity of life. And don't get me wrong, I think it's a very good idea. I think we all land on the right, on the same side with respect to sanctity of life. And I think it's extremely important for Banwell and for our pastoral staff to clarify what we think about sanctity of life and MAID and abortion. The extra step of saying now everybody who wants to be involved in Banwell must also think this about this cultural issue. I remain in the camp that I think this is a step out of bounds for us and our leadership at Banwell.
I have to say, I think it's especially when it comes to abortion, is more than a cultural issue.
Yes, it is more than a cultural issue, but it is
Very
also a
much more.
cultural issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is also a culture war issue. Yeah.
It's, but a particularly important
Of course.
issue being in the
Very,
church.
of course.
Right.
Of course. But I'm essentially saying if you're not pro-life like me, you can't fellowship at Banwell. I'm uncomfortable with a leadership structure that would say that.
I see what you're saying.
I am pro-life,
think
and
you're
I would like,
overreaching a little
yeah,
bit,
I would
because
like
we're
our
not
church
saying
to
you're
continue
not
to be
welcome to
pro-life.
fellowship here.
It is though, it's saying
But-
you're not welcome to serve.
No, I think that's an overreach, but I don't disagree with your main
Yeah.
point, that we are saying this is what Banwell
Yeah.
believes and
Yeah,
stands for.
Yeah.
And we have people who, won't be baptized, won't be members or whatever, pick
Yeah.
the item. But I do understand your main point, that we have to be careful about what we say, we all agree to.
Yeah. I mean, our draft area of service list has a serving and ministry application as a requirement for, I'm gonna say 80% of the positions. So it's not a rare thing. It's not, there's a few very, very key positions where we want to make sure that even, and even in this case, we want everybody to be on the same page with respect to culture war issues, respect to this, respect to that, every single box. I need these people to be in alignment. We've expanded it to be a requirement for, without having actually calculated the fraction, approximately 80% of our positions. So we're essentially saying if you're not aligning with these culture war issues, then you cannot serve in the church in all but the most basic of capacities. As I know, the stated purpose of these documents, and particularly the serving administrative application, was to create unity. I feel it only fair that you guys know that I'm not unified in supporting this. I'm not
So the
unified in
initial
support. Yeah,
9 points in the statement of faith.
yeah.
Would you express a disagreement with any of those 9 points?
Not at all. I don't express a disagreement with anything in the statement of faith, nothing in our conduct and lifestyle policy, nothing in our covenant. My issue is a broader application of it, and that's respect to forcing people to sign that they are at all of these spots of believing for most of any volunteer positions they could hold in this church. They all seem very basic points. It should be a given. These are this is what Banwell Church believes. I think it's excellent that we put them into writing. I think it's excellent that we formulated them the way that we have. I think it's excellent that a newcomer to the church could say, hey, what does Banwell think about MAID? This is what we think about MAID. We've crafted it the way we want to craft it. We've passed it. We've voted on it. This is Banwell's stance on this. And if you're going to be a part of this church, this is what we believe. But you're catching all these people who are at some point in their faith journey are going, well, I don't know. I've spent my whole life listening to CNN and woke preachers, and they've all said that, wow, maybe there's a place for this, and wow, maybe there is compassion, and wow, maybe there is this. And I'm coming to Banwell, and I'm learning, and I'm still on my faith journey. And I'm okay with a church that teaches this, and I'm still trekking there. Now we've twisted their arms and said, if you don't sign on the dotted line that you're all on board with all of this, then sorry, you're welcome to sit in the back pew and you can stack chairs, and we kindly ask you to tame your service there. And
So
it sounds
your point isn't about any of those documents until you get to the serving and ministry document.
correct. And specifically the request for a signature and affirmation on the serving and ministry document. we're walking through the Old
And-
Testament,
and
right? Yeah.
Are you saying that you're uncomfortable with that when it comes to the 9 points on the statement of faith?
I'm uncomfortable asking people to affirm a specific list of hot button issues that we've identified.
But would that extend also to the 9 points in the statement of faith?
Yeah, and again, I have no problem with any of the 9 points in the statement of faith. I would agree with all of them wholeheartedly. But I'm uncomfortable twisting people's arms into, saying, if you want a fellowship with our church, you'll sign on the dotted line. We just finished through the book of Leviticus. And your servants have talked several times about the Pharisees putting up hedges and guardrails around the law that God gave them. And Jesus came in and chastised them for them greatly. And then 2,000 years later, we've said, yeah, we have the Bible, but we want to make sure that these things are extra clear. And we want you to sign on the dotted line that you also think these things, these particular things that we deem important to us. And if you don't sign on the dotted line and say that you also feel these things and believe these things, we're sorry. We'd like you not to fellowship with the bride of Christ. And I think it's an overstep for our church and our
I'm still
leadership.
trying to grasp your,
Yeah.
your perspective
Yeah.
on, are you differentiating the 9 points in the statement of faith from the other things we're talking about? Or are you including that as well?
I don't, can you rephrase that? I don't,
So when we say we want you to sign on the dotted line,
yeah.
are you saying, I'm okay with that if what you're just agreeing to is the 9 points in the statement of faith? I object to the other things being added in there. Or are you saying, no, I even object to that. I don't think that people should be signing to say that they agree with the 9 points in the statement of faith.
I don't think they should have to be signing for anything. No. I think they've
Should-
been baptized believers. They're in this church. I don't think it's our position to have people sign on our own documents.
So should there be any way to affirm what we share in terms of our common beliefs together, given that you go to any other church
Yeah.
and you're going to find a whole variety
Yeah.
of, you go to, another United Church, whatever it might be, they've got a whole different
Yeah.
view of
Oh, yeah.
sexuality
Mhm.
and
They do.
a different view of the authority of Scripture. So I'm just trying to understand, like,
But we have affirmed it. We've adopted these documents. We made it very clear what the church's position of it is. To be honest, the serving and ministry application is almost functionally, I don't want to say irrelevant, but we've already adopted these. The rest of the documents, our conduct and lifestyle policy, our statement of faith, our covenant, they are already adopted into the church's court documents. And anybody who is floating any actions, under the church umbrella, contrary to those, is already our leadership, our elders, our pastoral staff, our board of directors already has reason to say, hey, you're part of Banwell Community Church. These are the things that we've adopted. These are this is our interpretations of the Bible. These are the things that this church values. And you're acting under the Banwell umbrella, not in accordance with the things we passed. This can't happen. We can't do that. But then we take it a step further by saying we want you to, we want to make sure that you are not only going to submit to leadership, even if you don't understand it. Say, hey, look, I'm not saying this. I'm saying hypothetically this. I'm still pro-choice. My pastor says that it's wrong. And I will abide by that. I will not get an abortion when it comes up, but I can't get around it in my head. I'll submit even when I don't understand it. I will submit to the Bible. I will submit to the teaching of my staff. I don't understand it. I'm not ready to sign on the dotted line and say that, yes, I think abortion is wrong. I will submit what you told me to submit, and I will act in the church accordingly. But now you want me to sign on a dotted line that not only are my actions in line, but also that everything in my head is in line as well.
I think the language is, we're just
Yeah.
asking, do you support this?
Yeah.
We're not, I don't think we're not asking, and I'd have to look at the wording, but I think it's more lines of supporting.
It is supporting,
Do you
yes.
support
Yeah,
this?
correct.
And I don't think that's too onerous to ask someone if they do support this, because the alternative would be,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't support this, so I don't know if there's a basis for working together, if we're teaching kids and leading worship and all that kind of thing, if we don't have a basis for agreement on basic theology.
We haven't outlined basic theology. We've outlined hot button culture war issues, at least in some of them.
Well, that's why I'm
Basic,
asking about the
basic theology is
distinction.
believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you will be saved.
Okay.
But that's why I'm asking
Yeah.
about the distinction between, are you differentiating the 9 things in the statement of faith from the other things? Or are you saying, even those 9, I can't sign to that?
I can sign to that, and I have signed to that. I'm uncomfortable with strong arming people into signing for it.
So there's nothing in particular.
No.
There's no
No.
like particular point.
No.
And you've never, this has never been a secret.
No, it's never been a secret. No,
We all
exactly. Yeah.
I always knew how you felt
Yeah.
about this. But it's the fact that we're asking people to sign something in order to be part of our church, that that's what he's saying. Nothing in particular, no specific of one of those 10 points, just the fact that we're telling people, or we're expecting these signed documents in order that they serve in the church.
I mean, it's no secret.
And
I have my own
he's
conflict of
always-
interest here. That's, you know, that's not a,
Yeah.
it's not a secret. It has caused me to look at this significantly closer than I ordinarily would have. I probably would have glanced through it and be like, yeah, I don't problem with any of that. It all sounds good. And I likely wouldn't have given it a second thought. It's made me give it a significant, hard look at it. Maybe spent a lot of time in prayer about it, a lot of time fasting about it. And the more I think about it, the more uncomfortable I am supporting that.
So is
Yeah.
what you're saying, Joel, that, you know, if in an ideal
Yeah.
world,
Yeah,
in your sense, would be scrap serving in ministry. We just have standards in terms of statement of faith and conduct and
Yeah.
lifestyle policy. And you're just saying, okay, if anything goes wrong, that's when we kick into action.
That would be my ideal world. You know, I could see an avenue where you say, you know what, we really want to make sure that, you know, that some people are absolutely 100% on board with these things that the church holds dear. I could see requiring a signature for pastoral staff, elders, maybe even board of directors. But in terms of our, you know, day-to-day volunteers, it's seeming to me to be a bridge too far. I think in an ideal world, it would be gone altogether. But I understand the arguments on the other side, and that's probably where I'd land as an ideal, you know, as an ideal functional compromise.
Yeah, and so part of the conversation that we've had
Yeah.
around the looking at the roles and requirements was
Yeah.
it was precipitated by your concerns
Mhm.
with this.
Yes, yeah.
To look at our ministry and say, within our various committees and within the many roles of the church, are there roles that we would not require
Exactly.
serving in ministry?
Yeah.
And I think we've done a fairly lengthy exercise to look at
Oh, yeah.
that and,
Yep.
and create spaces where that's a possibility. But we've also come back and people have identified, or our directors have identified, that we are looking at these certain requirements for
Yes.
certain types of roles.
Yes, exactly.
Especially ones that involve influence and leadership and teaching and some role of authority,
Mhm.
influence
Yeah.
in other people's lives, small group leaders, Sunday school teachers, that kind of thing. Where I think most of our people within our church would want to know that if someone's teaching a small group or leading children in faith, do we actually hold to the same doctrinal beliefs? Do we hold the same? Or if you bring back the threshold to say, you know, if you declare yourself to be a Christian or profess Christian faith, that's the benchmark. By that token, you could have someone with maybe a completely,
Yeah.
you know, you've got all sorts of theological options when
Yeah,
it comes to even to be agnostic in that as
Mhm.
well, to be undecided whether God exists or not.
Well, that's part of the practical reality of the signature as well, is we
Yeah.
have people signing it that haven't even thought through any of these
Yeah.
more sticky or controversial issues, who don't understand it, who have just said, wow, if the church agrees this, sure, so do I, and don't know it, don't understand it, haven't thought it through. They might have you know, wacky ideas about any number of things that we haven't explicitly covered in our statement of faith.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
And,
I'm
you
trying
know,
to understand and
yeah.
sympathize
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your unique situation.
Because my plan was not to hijack the meeting on another debate about this. We said we're going to review it in March. I wanted to bring it up to review in March. I wanted to make sure I made a point of, you know, I don't want to leave the board of directors disillusioned as to where I, you know, my support around this. I'm I would like a motion to continue with some direction in the next couple of meetings. I'd like us to take a closer look at this areas of service list, and I'd like you all to consider the possibility of restricting the requirements for the serving and ministry applications to all but the, highest standards in our church. I think it's out of our purview to do that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe this is a conversation for like a month from now that we've had
Yeah,
the
yeah.
initial conversation, but I would want to understand why we would have that requirement for some, but not for others. If it's going to be if we're going to hold a standard, I'd want it to be at least in some way fair and universal for all. But yeah, I think maybe a month from now we could have more of a deeper conversation on it.
Sure.
And I know Aaron's been working on that
Yep.
that list.
Yeah, yeah.
We can have that ahead of time, and we can have a little bit more lead in with that to think through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts on the matter? Okay, then we've got committee updates. Todd?
So, for Cheryl's sake, she likes
Thank you,
getting
Todd.
things in order here. From Missions and Outreach, just so that you all know, we're going to have a 7-day devotional provided by Our Daily Bread in the bulletins. They're here. So who's stuffing the bulletins?
That's a good question.
Do you need help with that, or is there time for that?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right. So they will go on the bulletins this Sunday for Palm Sunday, for people to have for their reflection on the 7 days of Holy Week. So that's one thing. The second thing is, in terms of the potential for a short-term mission trip to Guatemala, Mark Sturkin has given us the dates of August 22 to 29 is when he would be available. And so we've initiated some conversations with some people, particularly a couple of people who are interested in a building plan, a construction project. So that's as far as we've gotten so far, because there are so many different pieces to jigsaw together to try to figure out where to even start planning. You start with who, do you start with when, do you start with what? And so we've gone around and around on this already. If you have input or ideas, we sure covet some feedback on that. Okay. You have permission to call or
We're a
text
real
or-
rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
Feedback, looking at me blankly.
So the third thing is I had referenced this last meeting, but it wasn't official because the mission outreach hadn't met yet to transfer our support in Bethany Kids. Support of Francesca is leaving her post and being replaced by Dennis Marimi. And by the way, there was a spelling.
Darn, I thought I got it right because you didn't say anything. I couldn't figure out what you were saying exactly or how to spell it, so I guessed.
So it's Murimi.
I told you. What did you say? Muri.
IMI.
I am like Mary?
Yes,
I am I and Dennis.
yeah.
Okay, I will fix that too.
And do we need to do something financially to redirect or to specify, or does it just go to Bethany Kids, period? Is it earmarked for Francesca?
No, not Bethany Kids is separate. Is it Bethany Kids separate?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's automatically set up right now, so.
and is it automatically set up for directing to Francesca, or does it just go to Bethany Kids and they figure it out?
I think that the receipt comes back to Bethany. I don't know. I was set up.
So there's automatic withdrawals, right? But that showed ABWE,
ABWE is 2 of them,
right?
but Bethany Kids has been set up for a long time.
Yeah, I don't see Bethany Kids.
Yeah, it's been coming off. They sent a receipt. I don't know if it's coming off, but they've been sending receipts.
Okay. It's not showing. Okay.
I can see if I can find something.
Okay,
somewhere.
so our question is, do we need to do something to trigger a transition from
Yeah, I don't
Francesca
know.
to Dennis? Or does that, we just send the money and Bethany Kids figures
Oh,
that
I
out?
imagine it's all been earmarked at some, like when it's.
They may have an
when-
account for
Yeah, I
Francesca,
think
so we
so.
need to change the name on that.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll-
all right, well, yeah, let's see what we can do about that.
Okay,
Newcomers lunch is set for Sunday, April 19th, which would be 2 weeks after Easter. Steve's request was to follow Easter with it immediately, but the hospitality team was a little overburdened, and they're also doing Age Unlimited that week, so we're pushing it off to the 19th, which cramps Steve a little bit in terms of Mother's Day and the end of the next step.
I'll roll it, I'll roll it.
But he's rolling with it. So April
I want to
19th.
keep those ladies happy. They're very helpful.
All right, so Gamaliel and Kamoy are working on a little icebreaker plan for the newcomers lunch after the service, and so the hospitality ladies are providing the lunch. We've had a request, so we on to number 5 there. Cheryl?
Yes, we are.
Okay, we've had a request that we have an ongoing food bank collection bin, and some talk about having Tom Holmes or somebody build us a box that can be permanently in the foyer for people to just get in the habit of, when they go to the grocery store, pick up a couple extra things and bring it to church, and then Dorothy Allen and Jenny Billings will take it to Ambassador or whoever is deemed to be in need of some food for their food distribution, and that we would just have that as an ongoing every week availability for people rather than just the white bag Sunday in December. So do we get any negative response to that? Is there any problem with that?
We had one before.
Yes, we did.
We stopped it. I don't know
Why
why
did
we
we do
stopped
that?
it. Does anybody have any insight on that?
Yeah, we did have a locker in the one of the offices and a collection point that was a little like locomotive or something where people would drop
Yeah.
things off.
Yeah.
I think it just got to a point where no one was doing anything with it and the food was getting expired and just no one was kind of maintaining the whole program.
Okay.
However, it initially started years ago. Might have been a COVID thing that just kind of bottomed it out. So that's just my knowledge. I've been here 3.5 years. So
We still have that little train thing you were talking about?
no,
No, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
Please don't break.
no, don't do that.
I think Ross talks about that, I'm
was
pretty
so
sure.
poor spot.
It's a good idea as long as somebody empties it on a regular
Well,
basis. Like
Dorothy
if
and
it goes
Jenny
like
are offering
every,
to do that.
yeah.
I'm just wondering if that would make us kind of a middleman when we could encourage maybe a different avenue for supports that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think just the whole setup of it is great, and typically it should work. I think over the years, we found that we're not really in an area where we can run a food bank ourselves. The idea of picking, somebody being in charge to pick it up. So you've got 2 people that may pick it up, but then if it gets forgotten, then we're left with old food. Again, somebody's got to go clean it out. Unless it's really well organized and really well received, like that little red wagon that sat there for years and years and years, then all of a sudden it disappears and it's, now what are we gonna do? It has to be a mission minded thing. I just found that every time we've tried it, it gets left, or food gets left, and then we have ice problems and everything else going on. It's not being distributed. Trying to keep the church clean as we can. Could we do a mission run once in a while and instead of
Just a blitz.
a blitz once in a while where we could bring some food and specifically make it a mission Sunday instead of just having it sitting there week after week.
People do respond to that.
Yeah, I
Like
think so.
Like a seasonal food
Better
drive
return,
kind of
yeah.
thing?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
like just, yeah, instead of,
Yeah.
you know,
I think my rejoinder to that would be, we want to get people in the habit of giving regularly, not just at Christmas when everybody's, you know, generous. But that we're not downtown like Ambassador. So we need to actually make an effort at this. Because they haven't presented at their front door. We don't, and we need to actually make an effort. So that's why I think I'm in favor of the, just leave it out there and every once in a while, remind people that it's there. And that they can actually do something when they're at the grocery store each week that is planned toward this. And just pick something up. If you see something on sale, you know, macaroni's on sale or chicken soup's on sale this week, just get some more and plan to bring it on Sunday, rather than just white bag Sunday once a year. That'd be my feeling.
would a blitz not work once in a while, like seasonal, maybe once in the spring, once in the fall, and then in winter? And so we really concentrate on that rather than just, it's gonna get forgotten, I think, somewhere. You know,
Could be,
it's-
but why don't I just pick up one thing extra every time I go to the grocery store?
But then it's gotta be stored here, and then somewhere.
Well, Dorothy and Jenny have said they will take it down.
So they're gonna
They
make a
would like
box, like,
They're
and
not
have it
asking-
not like hidden. It's
Right.
gonna be like where everybody can see it.
to. Right,
They're not asking for a food bank here in a unit, in
No.
Right.
the facility.
right.
They've, speaking with Dorothy, I've got someone set up to take, they will pick it up and take it away.
Well, that's.
If anybody, Jenny Billings will get it taken out.
Yeah.
I know it could change, but
Yeah.
it is something that's
I mean,
near and dear to their
It's
heart.
pretty old,
And-
and then who knows how long she can do
Mhm.
that. But, I mean,
But they're
Jenny,
not asking to be a food bank. We're not in the,
This is just
in the area of the city that it would be of most benefit. I think that's, and I don't really know what went on before, but I know the food here was to try to give it out when people like benevolent and things like that. It didn't work very well. But this being picked up and taken to another group that it
Mhm.
would benefit, I do believe it is close to her heart. And
Mhm.
if it's looked after,
Yeah.
I think that's,
I mean, I think it's key. We don't want mice.
No,
Like,
and I know
let
we,
food out.
we used to do a lot for Matthew House with it. So I don't know if that's entering into it at all, or is that gonna be,
I think
By-
Matthew House is pretty well provided for by the UHC and the Gary and Jenny do a Shoppers Drug Mart delivery twice a week.
like all the time.
okay,
So Ken French and Angelica, and I've been filling in for them with Gary Drulard the last few weeks, take a car full of groceries, you know, jet vegetables and stuff from the UHC every Friday. So they're probably not the one we would give to first. I would think Ambassador is probably a far better.
Yeah.
Recipient. So I know
Do we need-
Ross's feelings, but if you guys wanna, you know, get back to me with some other, you know, objections or problems or challenges to hurdles to overcome or reasons why it doesn't work, feel free to contact me. Okay, and I'm just gonna say to Joel, if we do finish early.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that binder I keep.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
sounds good.
so if there's time.
Yep.
So that's it, that's done for me.
Okay. Krista?
Thanks.
Hello.
Sorry.
My committee hasn't met, yet. We'll meet next Tuesday. So there's not really much to say. There was an update regarding the library. And I guess there was some books that fell on a kid. So they're reinforcing the shelves. Yeah, this was like,
Krista, can I
Hold on,
explain?
hold on. Yeah.
Krista, can I explain?
oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Ben was at the hardware store today to get some little pins because these are held with a pin underneath,
right?
but if you pull here,
Oh,
Oh, shoot.
there's nothing to stop it from lifting from the back.
oh, gee.
Dragging too, eh?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and so one of them, a kid grabbed here
Oh.
and the whole shelf of books came down on his head or her head. I don't even know if it's more.
Oh, wow.
So
So she
the
learned.
solution,
They're okay, I assume?
She learned an
Yeah.
important
Don't hang on
so
to
the
it.
solution is to put pins above as well as below, and that'll prevent it from popping up.
Wow.
So they're going to Home Hardware to get the pins that'll solve that problem.
Wow.
That would probably need to reinforce the shell.
Yes, we still have to do it, really. They're not, they haven't been stabilized yet either, up against the wall, which we have to do.
Oh, like just with
Yes.
screwing in the wall.
And we've relaxed.
Books must be really heavy because you can see most of
Oh,
it
yeah.
like a smile. Yeah.
Well, that said, what they're gonna do is they're gonna flip the shelves
Yeah.
upside down and maybe they'll bend the other way.
Probably would work.
Sorry for interrupting, Krista.
Oh, that helps. I didn't see what you were pointing at, but that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I went to
no,
the wrong
that's
side of the room.
that's okay. Yeah, that was all I got through email this week, but yeah, we're gonna meet next week, so that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Hope you're feeling better soon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Dave?
Yeah, a bit short. So the auditor report, we're almost through all the tasks to get that completed, so I would think in about 2 weeks, we should have the report done, and once I get that, we'll review it. Vic's gonna go through it, to see if there's any opportunities and just summarize the findings. And then we will look probably sometime late April, to get that approved. We looked at the financials. I sent out the financial reports. There are some errors in there. So we are gonna sit down with Kim at some point, missing the mortgage payment in there. I did look, the budget categories are all aligned this year
Wonderful.
and the amounts,
Yeah.
but the expenses, so I'll just, there seems to be some omissions. We did put some expenses back into 2025.
Oh, okay.
Some of the mission expenses, ABWE,
Yep.
we had, to pay for Mark, and there was, some expenses from Guatemala trip and Matthew House, givings, just to catch them up. So we put them back in 2025. Looks like the insurance, our insurance is paid out every January. It looks like we've had the insurance expense for this year put back into 2025, so I don't know whether we can correct that. In summary, the expenses year to date have been about $186,000. And our givings year to date are 115,000.
Cool.
I had to put 20,000 from the savings over to the checking account. A couple of reasons for that. We had some big expenses up front. So the insurance was 15,600. The missions catch up was about 14,000 where we caught up. Green light, we paid the $10,000
Yep.
for that. So that came out at the beginning of the year. So that's one reason. We do have the HST rebate of about $43,000 we filed, so that'll be coming in. So our current total savings right now is about 273,000 with all accounts. And then we have the HST coming in, so we're about 315,000 in savings right now. We did have it on our agenda last month to review whether we do a mortgage repayment.
Okay.
Based on the fact that expenses have been higher than the givings for the first quarter of the year, we're just wanting to defer that for a few months and see how things go.
That makes sense.
Envelope steward process is going smoothly. And again, I think those are the main topics we had for our meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Barb?
Pretty much our meeting was talking about the job description, so
Okay.
we've had some back and forth on that, and I think we've sent them out again, just to have another look at it.
Okay.
They're quite in depth. So we didn't get a long wait. I also shared with them an old vacation for the internal vacation policy, and with the notes that Jim had gone through a few years ago to do that. So they take that away to read that and see if we agree with the updates.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through that again as well, and anyway, I'll show it to you, or I guess kind of looking at how everybody, our outline of how I can't think of the word. Just basically how I swear I've all
Hierarchy?
coming on.
Higher?
So in other words, for the question of, does the caretaker have to ask for requests from property? I say no. I say really, most of these things should go to the lead pastor, because that is the facility, all of that, and then they let all of their chairs know. So that's the things that we're going to correct in taking those types of things out. Because I think we've kind of gotten a little where there's too many things in the bucket. And as well, that HR should really be just saying yes. As I said, we sent Pastor Steve's to you to approve. I'm saying he has these many days
Mhm.
and this is what we'll record.
Yep.
So just kind of getting that in line.
Okay.
But most of it was taken on the job descriptions. And we didn't get far.
Okay, well, thank you. You've got a lot on your plate right now. I really appreciate you handling all this. Thank you.
Mm.
Ross?
Yeah, just a little interjection. When we talked about how many seats would we be able to have for an overflow, so I'm old school where if there's people coming in, we'll throw chairs in.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love it.
but yes, it's something that we consistently do have to look at now from this point. I'm glad of the input to say, here's some overflow plans. I think that's really constructive. Couple of things going on. Obviously, the gym floor has been stripped down, lined, and sealed. That was about $10,000 that it came out to. Pardon me, but we need discussion on the care and the maintenance of it.
Mm.
That we should really get down. Not sure if we discuss that now or not. Pardon me, my throat. Front door issue is being addressed this week. It constantly is causing us problems. They're gonna rebuild the inside of it, the one with the key. And during the windstorms that we've had, the roof and the flashing is going to be replaced up top. There's a lot of flashing came off, a lot of pardon me, shingles. We've got a price and it's gonna be done for $600 plus materials. That's really
How many shingles came off?
quite a few.
Really?
We do
Didn't
have
we
some-
have the
some
roof
here.
redone not that long
We
ago?
have big section in
Yeah.
2015-ish or
Yeah.
something.
Was it that long ago?
15?
Well, 20, maybe it was 2017, in that range. We had
Okay.
a huge project done.
How much did you say it was gonna be?
600.
600 plus materials.
So they're not redoing any sections of roof then? They're just
no,
tacking in
just
new shingles here and
repair.
there?
The wings.
Just repair.
When the guy went up, he said there's still black felt paper there
Okay.
to run water off and so on. But they're gonna be here at 9 o'clock tomorrow
Oh, wow.
to
Okay.
get
Wow.
it done.
So it's not,
uh,
it's not worth going through insurance or anything?
No,
So
absolutely not.
These are little spot repairs. There's no
Yeah.
big sections that are.
We are gonna have some roofing problems, I'm sure, on the far side. We're getting some drainage down by the cry room there type of thing. There's some that we're gonna have to address.
That's a flat roof there, right?
No, that's the,
Was that
that's
peak
the
there still?
peak parts that come down. The flat roof is.
Oh, I'm sorry, the
Oh,
cry
the-
room. I was thinking
the
new
E-wing.
roof. Right.
Yeah. And we're working on the baptistry repairs right now. Tom's been cleaning out, like, water had gotten in behind the taps and everything, and created a lot of problems. So he's working on that. I think that was about it, but I really do think we need to address the discussion on the care and the maintenance of the gym floor. Where do we start with that? Who's going to make up a sign to say, here's some regulations?
So I heard about black soled shoes.
Yeah,
Was there
that's
anything
not-
else?
Well, I think floor hockey sticks are gonna take a beating on, it, probably to a certain degree. And I know in some of our schools, kids are asked to pick up hockey nets,
Hmm.
2 of them, and place them out rather than drag them across the floor. Pardon me. So, these are things that we should be looking at almost immediately.
What if we have a luncheon in there and somebody has black soled shoes on?
Well, I mean, it's scuffed.
I know
parts
it's
that-
bad because
yeah.
it's the kids that's going to school. They're
we
not
ju- we
allowed
just
to
have
wear
to,
them.
somehow
for gym.
regulate what we can do.
So is there a whole list of things or is it just those two things?
You know what? I mean, it is a stripe that's put on the floor, so we have to moving chairs across it and hockey nets and things. Yeah, it's gonna get worn down quickly, but that's what it's for, so. But the black sole shoes, that's the most critical one.
I don't think you can prohibit like age unlimited people from.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
but they're not scuffing across.
Yeah, they're
not
blocking.
running around
yeah,
with feet
yeah,
legs,
It's
yeah.
more the kids running around and.
Yeah. Or parents after
Yeah.
church on Sunday when they're out there playing with the kids for
Yeah,
basketball, and they've got their good shoes on and.
I don't know what the bottom of the table, what the table legs look like, but you can get
Oh, you get.
little
felt things and
clip-on
so on,
things
yeah.
that have like a rounded,
They have plastic.
so it doesn't
Like,
dig
yeah,
into
it's
the
fine.
floor.
You can only ask people to be
Yeah.
aware of it,
Yeah.
Be careful.
I mean, most of the kids' shoes are like that anyway, because they have to for school. So I
Yes.
Imagine maybe
Yeah.
their church shoes might be an exception, but I would assume for the midweek programs, they're probably wearing the same, shoes they are for school, and they're
We'll
probably
find
already
out
not
this
scuffed.
Easter with all
Yeah.
the little girls in the black hats.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Most
Those
shoes now
feet.
don't have like that hard rubber that marks, does it?
No.
Like these are
I
like,
think you're
this
right.
is foam.
Yeah.
That's like, that
Yeah.
doesn't stuff at all.
Let's
It's
just have everyone remove their shoes at the door.
it's holy ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just something to, we'll keep an eye on it. And then I'm not sure how Chantel's going to make out with a mop and a bucket of water. Something that probably should be looked at as a machine for,
Zamboni.
yeah, almost a good idea. They average probably a price of about 8,000.
I threw out one.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
you
few years
did?
ago. Yeah,
Oh.
you need a little bit.
A gym Zamboni?
One of those walk behind scrubbers.
Well, there's a squeegee thing.
What's the big thing in the electrical room there? There's some.
That's a carpet.
Oh.
And it's just about giving up the,
Okay.
it's
I
leaking.
may have one at work though.
What, carpet one or?
No, we
Squeegee.
bought a walk behind one that's about this
That's
wide,
yeah.
and I'll see if there's any value on it. Nobody uses it at our.
Oh, is that right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, because I could just picture Chantel there with a mop and a bucket. That's it.
Yeah, I'll see if there's
One
any,
like
I'll see if there's
Walmart
any
that goes
value.
on
left
its own.
to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Dave.
Yeah, go take a room, but
It's
With the big eyes.
Plug in, you just walk behind it, it's about this
Yeah.
wide scrubber.
Yeah, the first time I saw one of those was quite a surprise.
Hmm?
That's the first time I saw one of those coming at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Six following me.
Tell her to-
Yeah, other than that, we're looking forward to getting in to take that wall up between 5 and 6 and then the renovations that'll happen in the sanctuary after. But other than that, always something going on.
After Easter, the wall's coming down?
Well, we've got to have a meeting about
obviously,
that. Sometime
Bring it together. We
Yeah.
looked at right after Holy Week, but we should.
Yeah,
plan a
we'll-
meeting
we'll
soon. Yeah.
get that down.
Yeah, Daniel's back.
Yep.
So get that rolling. Yeah.
Any other questions?
thanks for getting all that taken care of. It's been a busy month for you. Thank you. Master Steve, floor is yours.
Okay, I don't have a huge amount of stuff.
Oh, Steve, I'm so sorry.
Well,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
sorry. I didn't have, because I just got this just before we left.
Oh, allow it only because
Oh.
we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, Monarch office supply. You know how we're looking at the other desk, the check-in desk.
Mm.
Sorry, I forgot all about it. I got it before I came in. Anyway, so I had the people from Monarch here today to look at what we have existing on the Welcome Center, and they can mirror that, only cut it down in size, and instead of an L, basically just cut it down a foot and keep the same design with the same colors. And the price for that came through at $1,142. So, and there's about a 4 to 5 week delivery on that. So, can we discuss that further or get a motion to do it or?
Sounds reasonable to me. You want to make a motion?
Sorry, we don't have Aaron here because he does all of it.
Yeah, usually.
That's me.
It's
I'll make a
there.
motion that we go ahead.
Somebody want to second Ross's motion? Todd? All in favor? Any more discussion?
Anyone want to let me know what the motion's going to say?
Yes, we're gonna go ahead with this.
A motion to approve Ross's proposal to purchase a desk from Monarch for roughly $1,000.
Measurements are there. Oh,
The other side.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I was just curious.
oh,
That's
pardon
where
me.
the kids check in.
Oh, if we
Breathe on
breathe
it.
it, so you're using the one.
Yeah, this works good. Yeah. Super.
Yeah, I think the measurement.
This is for a check-in desk,
For a
right?
check-in desk, yes.
With wheels,
Oh,
right?
Well, we're gonna put the casters on it.
Oh, casters,
We'll
okay.
worry about that.
no more questions? All in favor? Spectacular.
Can I ask for purchase then?
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm just wondering if Chantel does make this move, she did not move, but additional. Can we get her something to work with besides her dealing with her cell phone?
Like a computer and a desk?
I don't know what exactly, whether it be a tablet or something that because the calendar that's on Outlook
Mm.
is quite, like
It's quite cumbersome to get on your phone. Yeah.
it's on phone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just the fact is she was to add notes and things into it,
Oh, no, for sure. She needs something.
just something.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I mean-
what would be the best, but just to put that out there that I think we probably have, we can it wouldn't necessarily be capital, it wouldn't be very big,
Like a tablet or a laptop or.
just something
Yeah.
small. Anyway, sorry to butt in.
No,
Yeah, spare ones that are.
They're quite, I guess, but there's students coming as well that I assume we're gonna have them using, but I don't think there's anything. I don't know.
But does she need some kind of a desk, office space? Like, does she, is she gonna be doing a decent amount of, work with regards to paperwork and emailing? Or, is a tablet, and, setting up shop here for an hour here and there be sufficient for her?
She's doing all the
I'm just
reservations.
saying,
for-
I
Yeah.
think we need to look at something. I don't know if
Absolutely.
she needs a desk, but
Do
just
you-
something.
Nice
She's
table,
She's
yeah.
using the calendar. We did get her.
No, for sure. No, she needs to be able to do, yeah, she can't do all the booking and
No.
emailings just
No,
from a
be
phone.
better to
That's
have
not, yeah.
Some sort of
She needs
screen.
either a tablet with a remote keyboard or a small laptop or something, a Chromebook or something like that.
Well, we could ask her what she'd prefer, like
Yeah.
like
Do
a
you?
tablet or a
Yeah.
laptop.
I think it's in the counting room.
Or are they using it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
double check.
Do you want to make a motion to put like a budget, once we get her role, her set up in her new role to,
Especially she
spend up
said-
to a certain budget on, on hardware for her? Up to $1,000? Would that do it?
I'm just saying, I think she needs something.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right, yeah.
Talk to her about whatever,
Purchase a laptop or
or tablet, or
tablet. Or
because he's moving
Chantel.
all around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
In the amount of $1,000.
Do you want to make a motion or do you want to wait and coordinate something with Chantal or?
How about we wait and I'll
Find
talk
out
to
the
them.
need.
We'll do a motion.
We've got what we can get.
So we don't need to make a motion?
No motion today?
Okay.
Don't apologize.
Okay, that's fine.
You've got a lot on the go right now. You're putting all these jobs and juggling things together. We really appreciate you taking the bull by the horns and getting all this done, and don't want something simple like that to stand in your way. So I think you've got board support for that, and we'll find out what she needs, and Aaron will be back, and we'll make all the motions we need. Ross, you all set?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Pastor Steve, floor is yours again. Are you sure?
Yeah, I go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a very full season. It seems like since Christmas time, it's been, just nonstop action. Very excited about some of the things that we've been working on the last couple of weeks in particular. I'll just share a couple of highlights on my list here. First of all, looking forward to Holy Week. This year, for the first time that I've done it here, we're doing Christ in the Passover on April the 1st. And really looking forward to doing that. It's something that I did in my former church several times. And I just found out the Penners have done it for like 20 years in a row.
23 times.
23 times. And so I've brought in a traditional Seder plate with all the compartments in it. And it's been really neat. A few of our people in the church are very familiar with it and have some of the, the implements and the things to, that are a part of the Passover celebration. So I'm excited about getting that going April 1st. And just coordinating for Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday, getting all those details together over the next couple of days. And other things that I'm working on. Care team is underway, going really well with Paul Marcotte stepping into the care team coordinator role. And I've just been so blessed in connecting with him and getting him up to speed. And he's eager to get going and connect with each of the care team members to establish that connection with them. I just had some correspondence with him this morning, updating our care team manual and making sure that everything's current and up to date and that our volunteers have everything they need to do their work well. And also look at some recruiting as well for new care team members. This past week, we had our first eldership pilot group and really enjoyed our time together. The first session together was more about getting to know one another and sharing our testimony with each other. And it was really, really encouraging to be there with the group and just hear the heart of each person around the table to see what the Lord has in store for us together. So I'm very excited to finally see that up and running and going. So it's going well. Other than that, working with the FIT team as well to iron out some details. Lots of conversations with Daniela these days about the panels. And I did tap John Renaud on the shoulder with some questions about the mounting of projectors. I looked at that aspect of it, and since we are hanging items that are at least 40 pounds above people's heads, I really want to have an
I'm moving from the front.
I really want to have an expert
Make sure-
working on that and making sure things are mounted properly. So I tapped him on the shoulder this week to get some quotes around his professional services and getting that hooked up. So yeah, the details are coming together fairly well, and with Daniel back, I'm hoping to get a timeline figured out.
Absolutely.
But our rough timeline is anywhere from Holy Week to BBS. So
It's done before.
we're hoping to get all that
Get a
finished
wrecking crew in
before the summer hits. But yeah, things are well underway. Lots of exciting things to look at together, look forward to. And another aspect too, we're looking at newcomers lunch on April 19th. Next steps class is coming up as well. And I've already had a few people approach me and say, I want to come into membership. I want to serve. I want to be baptized. So I'm looking forward to another exciting group of new people in our church in the next few months. So along with that, I've been working with PCNW. I know Aaron's not here tonight, but maybe I'll touch on a couple of things there. PCW has been working really diligently on new member interviews, and there's a whole crop of new ones that they're working on right now. And so yeah, in the near future, we'll look at having a proper membership welcome on a Sunday coming up soon. Other than that, just the everyday of ministry, and as Barb knows, it's a very vibrant place to be. Lots going on, and again, very thankful for Barb and her stepping in, and even today working on the master list and getting all these administrative tools that we need up and running. Very thankful for your help with that. So
Oh, Barb.
yeah. So yeah, that's my life in a nutshell right now. And I will mention Pastor James will be away soon with the baby arriving.
Oh,
The due date is April 17th. So for at least a week after the baby is born, he'll be off. And he's already lined up lots of things to fill in the gaps while he's away. So yeah, looking forward to baby number 5 for them. Very exciting.
I wanted to mention to you were saying that you were hoping to rent our space for the next get together.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
There's the war that's going on between
Lawyers.
Ducharme and Aleo is getting really bad, and they accused Piro of pocketing rental money for the rooms.
Oh
Which is
my.
absolutely not true. It's a long story. It's a
Okay.
big, like Mr. Aleo said, you have a marriage, you don't get along, you get a divorce. We can't get a divorce in this marriage because they had 2 owners of that same building. So right now, they had to cancel a whole bunch of promises to people. So I thought I'd mention that to you as soon as.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a few dates and like around May, June-ish around there. And
If anything changes, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I would like to, and I probably should have gotten the ball with this a little sooner, like a leaders' day together, like we did in November. I'd like to have that as a twice a year thing. What I'd like for the May, June one to have as a part of it is some of those potential new nominees coming in.
That's a good
To
idea.
have an opportunity to kind of have some overlap with the outgoing directors, and if that be the case. So maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll coordinate with you, Joel, about some possible dates and
Sounds
see
good.
if we can look at a few ideas for, I'm thinking in May,
Okay.
middle to end of May. And June gets full really quick, so I probably want to
Sure
stay away
does.
from June. But yeah, I think it's very valuable for us to come together and have some focused discussion, and sometimes our meetings are a bit rushed, and having a Saturday morning together gives us an opportunity to really unpack some long-term thinking that we need to do together. So
Sounds good.
Yeah.
If everybody's committee's done, then can I reassign Aaron's pastoral care and worship spot to Todd? He has made some binders up for the missions and outreach committee members, transitions in and out that have proven to be a really effective transition. With the nominating committees report coming up, and we're looking at new chairs in and out, new committee members in and out. I wanted to give him the floor for a few minutes to present those binders to you. You can have a look at them, and hopefully maybe it inspires you to do something similar for the committee and the new members coming in and coming out to make a smooth transition. Todd, take it away.
So this might apply less to Ross than probably just all about all the rest of us, but when you have a new person on your committee, how do they know what they're doing? What are they supposed to do? What are the parameters and what can they contribute? So when I started on missions and outreach, nobody gave me anything. I didn't know what was going on for the first 6 months.
In fairness, I didn't know what was going on either.
And Joel was only acting chair. He wasn't even really supposed to even have to be there. So we appreciated all that he did, but I don't think any of the people have access to what they need to begin to do their job as a committee person. So I put together a binder and I just have from the Constitution, there's a 1-page list of what your duties are on that committee. And then a section of minutes. What are the minutes from the last year's meeting? So a person can sort of get up to speed on what's been happening.
I think that's not a running total of minutes. That's the last section, the
yeah.
last 12 months, last 6 months, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever relevant enough.
Yeah.
If someone can flip
Correct.
through there and get an idea for what's happened in the last several meetings.
Right.
Yeah.
So then specific to us, there would be a section for each of the missionaries that we support and sort of bring them up to speed on who they are and what's our history with them. And particularly also with Matthew House as our primary local mission. And then a section on correspondence. If we've had some correspondence in our committee, people should be privy to that and be able to catch up to speed right away. And then you guys were talking about who's on which committee for how long. So we have that as a document because, a lot of people start into a committee and they don't even know who all are on all the committees of the church. I mean, I can't name all the people on all the committees. So who do you talk to about X, Y, or Z? So the list of committee people, a section for what's the current budget for your committee? What are you expected to live within in the budget that we passed? And then I just have a copy of the Constitution at the end for people to be able to consult. So it's a template if you want to put something together for your committee, particularly, new people coming on, but I think everybody should have a package that is, belongs to your committee. And there should be a copy of this in the photocopy room. Like, this should be an official document that belongs to your committee and everybody else can have access to it too. There's nothing secret here. It's what anybody who might want to consider.
Can I do you one
joining the
better?
Committee.
On SharePoint.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It could be a
Although on
a collection in a
you'll have to
folder on
go dig
SharePoint. Yeah.
through and you have to know what you're
Yeah.
looking for.
Does every member of every committee have access to the SharePoint files for their committee? Or is it only the chair?
No, but the chair could share a file with a group of users, I believe. Darko can correct me. Yeah.
I know what Todd's getting at though, like the minutes are kind of public, right? So the person wants to go in to see what's going on, it's quicker than.
What's been going on the last year? Well, this is what's been going on
No,
the last year.
this is-
Most people wouldn't navigate through a SharePoint file.
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
just wanted
This
to.
is nice. It will put someone at ease.
It is really
if they're
nice, yes.
First starting in the
We
committee,
did
but
that,
ultimately all our
years ago,
stuff is gonna be,
but got away from it.
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah.
One quick question. I wonder if in some of the committees, there may be some confidential stuff that wouldn't be necessarily public record in terms of like HR and finance and some of the decisions around employees or.
Well, are you talking about public to internally within the committee
Like in the
or
minutes. that
like
could
if you
be-
have like
Should be in
and-
camera then, if there's in camera minutes.
Yeah, you've got in-camera minutes and then you've got the minutes that everybody can
Okay,
see.
I just want to be sure that we're not
Yeah,
Yeah,
making that available if it's sensitive
right,
information.
yeah, if
Right.
there's employee information or something else that has come up in a committee should go to in camera where it should be.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
So if in preparation for June, when you're going to welcome some new person on your committee, if you wanna, you know, borrow this and make your own and doctor it for what works for you. I mean, I don't know what property does. 'cause
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of
you know,
hard.
yeah,
We're all over the map.
One thing you guys could do though for property, you could have a list of contacts, right, that you use.
That's a good
services.
point.
Yeah.
No removal, yeah, grass cutting.
Like, if you're handing it over, who do I call if I'm the chair
That's
for
good.
roof?
Window
for roof, like,
repair.
Who do I
Yeah.
call for the air makeup units?
Some
and all that kind
Chantel.
of stuff.
Who's the
Yeah.
air alarm guy, right?
Yeah.
You know, who's
Yeah.
the key contacts that you
Yeah.
have, right?
Yeah.
Contact list.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
a good point.
just helpful to have in print somewhere,
Yeah.
the things you can pass off to the next person.
True.
You guys
That's
could
true.
also have like PMs, like who does the PM on there.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Oh, that's,
When the last time the roof was done? See, I'm just coming up.
His mind is getting bigger by the
minute. Well, you could say roof was done in
Yeah.
2015, so you know in 2020.
When was the water heater replaced?
Yep. Need warranty stuff. See, I've already filled up.
You got a full binder, Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Todd
so-
just said property doesn't have to worry about.
Oh, there's a lot of people.
I take it back. Yeah, so anyway, that's.
Thank you
available.
very much for sharing. They are, I've looked through them. They're spectacular binders and they were a huge aid in onboarding the new missions and outreach committee members.
Yep, no, I think it's a good idea. Like I said, we did it years ago with the Constitution and responsibilities of the committee and that, but I think it's good to get back to it and having the minutes. And then also having the new members come into the June meeting.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah,
ask
please.
something before are you done?
Yeah.
As I butt in again?
Yep, no, I'm not, you're not butting in.
But in, you got a lot on the go right now.
Yeah, I wondered about, we talked about a few meetings ago about a letter that might go out to our members.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
With
that's
regards
Yep.
to the facility, taking
I-
on the facility.
Drafting something. I wanted to have you something over by now. I don't have it. Let me finalize that and I'll get that over to you. That way we can hand them a letter and say,
Yeah.
this is, yeah.
And
Here you
also.
Just
I
to
think
put the
we
rentals,
transitioned
right?
from-
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Transition from manual calendar on the desk
Hmm,
to although not being maybe perfect, but the
Yeah. Yes.
outlook. We're having people that are coming in on Sundays and writing things on the calendar.
Oh, geez, like just random people saying, oh, book it for me on this day.
So that's just a concern. You know, the one did it and then emailed me later saying, oh, we put something on the calendar. I'm like, okay, we'll put that on the electronic. Yeah, just,
Okay.
That's funny.
and then talking about Matthew House, if I could bring this up to the group, they are looking again to come to the facility.
I come here.
Are we charging them to come? Apparently last time, a couple things have come up. There's also a group that have been here a long time and they have some sort of deal going on that it's Rotary. They store things here. We have another group that is coming in. They've connected to Rotary. Now they want to do the same thing.
Store
Store
things here?
things here.
What kind of stuff do they want to store
There's
here?
a one box,
A what?
Like a file cabinet stuff, like
No.
files or what?
a tote
Oh.
box.
Like
One
one soapbox?
post?
Yeah, Dave.
If we're done with the agenda, can I excuse myself? I just have quite a bit. I
Yep.
have
Yeah.
a big
Sure.
day tomorrow and I'm having,
Yeah.
my workday's not quite done.
Yeah.
No, I've got.
Absolutely, Dave. Thank you for
I've got
speaking
a
up. Yeah,
meeting
and thank you for joining us
at
today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I wasn't done everything I have to do for this.
Oh, my goodness.
So
Yeah.
if we're done with the agenda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for
Thank you.
taking away and coming.
What's that? Oh, thank
Good
you.
to see you, Dave.
Yep, you too.
I just think that as of 2026,
Yep.
we start and we follow the
Absolutely.
application,
Yep.
that type of thing. But I think, and also, is there a way that we can besides the letter, can we kind of talk to the whole congregation about kind of what rules or what the outline is with regards to renting the facility? Because
Sure,
that's
let's,
gonna come
yeah.
up more often.
Hopefully I'm thinking, tell me if this is we need a better course of action. By the time the next news and views is coming out, we should have something set for,
That's a good
I was
idea.
gonna say Brenda, I'm having a brain fart here. Chantel. Something should be up and going and set, and we should have a procedure going. We've already got our application fine-tuned and ready to go. Maybe I can write a nice big article for the next news and views that would detail, this is Chantel's new role. If you want to rent the facility, this is how this is how you go about renting it.
That's a good idea.
I know it kicks the can down the road just a little bit, but that does give us time to get all these things in place. Would that,
So
would
I
that work?
think there's
Yeah.
no more news and views until September, right?
Is that it?
No, there's a summer
Oh,
one.
there's a-
There's
Yeah.
a summer one before summer hits, you mean?
Yeah, we go out like first Sunday of June type of thing.
Yeah, I've got the printing down pat now.
Yeah. Does that work for you? Would that be good for a communication to the congregation? I think that would be a good forum for it. That would give all the information you need. We could even put hyperlinks in or a QR code or something to get you right to the right to our application.
Mhm.
And then by that time, Brenda should be, if Chantel, by that time, Chantel should be set if this is all set and moving forward. And then in the meantime, I'll get you a letter that you can hand to people. Do we want to address storing things here too? Do we want to make that a blanket? No storage
Well,
policy?
Yeah, I would say I responded back to the person.
I mean, we're
saying-
always screaming for storage space and they're gonna say it's just one tote, and I would like to say it's just one tote. It seems to be the kind of thing that can go in and out of a trunk easily when needed.
And I responded back to the person requesting and saying that was a deal.
Yeah.
That's being grandfathered, but as our formalized processes come into place in
Perfect.
2026, we wouldn't have that, they wouldn't have that availability. But that's just the concern of things that kind of come up that, well, that's what we did.
Yeah. Hey, feel free to copy me into those emails too, if you need to, I mean, you've got them handled, that's spectacular, but if it helps and I can lend you some
Mhm.
backup and bring the hammer down, I'd be more than happy to do that too.
And then like I said, the Matthew
Yeah.
House one because we support them.
Yeah. What do they want to do here?
Oh, well, they would like to have a fundraiser. They
Okay.
want a dinner of up to 200 people.
No.
Are they catering it? Do they want to
will
use
be
the
great. When you talk
kitchen?
about them they're getting Windsor Eats, which I think is a service that.
Oh,
Brenda
that's
does out there
wonderful.
now.
We had a
So that's
party
what they're
there.
looking at, but they want to make use of the gym and the kitchen. They want to use the plates and everything, as well as the odd, like the speakers and stuff, which there was an issue prior.
Mhm.
And the fact that we really should have security, there's a cost to that.
Mhm.
Who is this, Barb? Sorry, I didn't catch the beginning.
Matthew House.
Oh, it's Matthew House again.
Matthew House.
Yeah.
So part of the dilemma is that nobody who has a kitchen really enjoys sharing it. And so we have a problem with other people coming into our kitchen, even though it's why we have it, is to make use of it, but it's an outreach center. But it creates a problem because people never put things back exactly the way they found them, and
But it's everyone's kitchen. This doesn't
Yeah.
belong to the people who put the dishes
Yeah.
away. Right? I mean, it's our church kitchen. It's supposed to be used.
But in the sense, I see what you're saying, but apparently something was Chantel brought up, somebody used the kitchen recently and left the garbage, and like looks like they had a birthday cake or something and
Well,
didn't wash things up, and that's our
checking
people.
after, isn't there someone that goes
But
and
it could have been someone within the church that they just all gathered and had a
Oh.
birthday cake, I don't know. So I think we have to honor that too. It is our kitchen, but everybody needs to do their part to
that's
keep it
true,
cleaned up.
yeah, you don't leave a mess like that.
Anyway, that's just the Matthew House one. That one could be an
That's
issue.
Did they
huge,
give you a
200 people.
Yes, a Thursday, June 11th.
Thursday, June 11th.
First.
Yeah, Windsor Eats is like a great big warehouse.
Yeah.
I remember, Ross, we
I
had
don't like it.
so much trouble finding this place. We had our Christmas party at it a couple of years ago, and they had make the amazing food there. Really nice.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the options are we just say, nope, we rent it only and charge them a full rental fee. Our options are we charge them a full fee and give them a donation back afterwards. Or we say we're going to credit them. Maybe we waive the room rental fee and then say, look, I do have to charge you the whatever it is, $50 for a kitchen supervisor and for a security supervisor, because those we pay directly to our supervisors. And I still have to have those even if you're a charity we work with.
Yeah.
I see it. Those are
Security.
kind of our three options,
Mhm.
4 options, however many that were. I don't know. It's
June
too late to count.
11th, June.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday night. Okay.
Barb, what are your gut thoughts on the matter?
we need to have our people on place
Yeah.
to make sure that we are monitoring our facility.
At least they're giving us good notice this time, right?
I think there's people that are gonna have to come to be here, and if it's gonna be plus 5 hours, so they're saying 5:30
Yeah.
till 10. That's a little bit stretched on volunteer time, so there is a cost to that.
Did you say June 11th or July 11th?
June
June.
11th.
Did you say 11?
So,
thought
I mean,
down 8.
Kingdom
Was it
kids will be
11?
using the,
They're
They're
done.
done at that
oh,
point.
They're
no, I
done
thought they went at the
May.
end of June. No.
I checked
Okay.
that first.
They're done end of May, yeah. So in my mind, it's non-negotiable that we would have an audiovisual person there because we had to do a service call last time we didn't have that person in place.
Really?
Yeah, we had to get John Renaud to come and fix the whole system
Oh, why?
because it was out of whack after they had been playing around with it.
Mm,
So we definitely need that in place. We're gonna need someone like Evelyn in the kitchen to supervise that whole operation, and she'll want to be there.
Yeah.
And the problem with Evelyn is she's gonna say, don't pay me for it, but I think we have to.
Yeah.
And she can donate that back to the church if she so chooses.
Yeah.
And then the third person would be like, especially for an event of that size, we do need supervision of the facility. So those would be 3 personnel that would be kind of a non-negotiable, based on our current practices and also based on how it kind of went a little sideways last time.
And with 200, is one security person enough, or do we actually need 2?
I think all they'll need to do is just be around the entrance to make sure that no one's going into the main building or up into the mezzanine. That's really the main thing for supervision. And then to stick around for a little bit of the tidy up after and making sure that tables and chairs get back to where they need to.
Yeah.
And they need to provide insurance. I think
Yeah.
we've got to just be
Yeah.
easy on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we can't, I don't think we can waive that one. They're an outside group and that's it's a big people, it's a big risk and that's, I think it's a standard ask, yeah.
There's a lot of outside people, like, they're, it's a mixed group of people that,
Well, if it's a fundraiser, then it's gonna be people not just connected to Matthew House. It's not
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
their people.
and they want to use our dishes?
I'm
They're
sorry,
using our dishes.
that's what they want.
So they didn't last time. Last
Mm.
time we made them get paper. They used something of ours, though. I can't remember what.
I'm not sure. I just know it didn't go well.
It didn't.
But it could have gone way worse. Because if they had been, like they really didn't have use of the kitchen. If we give them use of the kitchen,
It was communication all the way, like it wasn't communicated.
Yeah, it was,
properly.
yeah.
It was a breakdown, so live and learn, but
well, this time we've got the opportunity
Yes.
to, we got all that lead
Organized.
time, can ask all the right questions, make sure the boxes are checked.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be doing tax returns at Matthew House. They're
Oh,
doing
okay.
the community.
Yeah.
I can speak to him directly so that we're not getting in between, or
Yeah.
the lady, if you want, if that's okay. And go that way, so we get it clear versus emails. I don't know.
What's,
So
I
it's
mean,
good to have it in writing then.
yeah. What do we think we want to offer them or do for them? We obviously we partner with them closely. We give them a sizable donations every year. We want to keep the trend up. We want to be reasonable to our facility as well. What's our thoughts? What do we want to do for them rental wise?
Well, I think
mission.
they require their insurance, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be in.
Oh, that's just a rider though.
Yeah.
That's-
But then those 3 people are gonna have to
Yeah.
be paid, so
Mhm.
why don't,
Yeah.
there's a set amount for 5 hours what do you have in?
Thing is, it's not just Matthew.
On the
House.
agreement.
It's a
on the
whole
agreement,
bunch of other people that
$25 an
are-
hour for-
Yeah, but I think it would be a lot
Right.
easier to say,
It's
oh, you mean in
$50
terms of
an
people
hour.
in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like the technical person. Now, they wouldn't necessarily, I don't think, need to be here from 5:30 when they're setting up. But the period of time, if Matthew House zeroed it in, and that's when we did it. That's what we put on the agreement. And then the kitchen one, we hadn't really dealt with, I don't think.
Mhm.
That's not on the agreement.
It's on the agreement.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's in the new one.
Okay,
And I think we just put 25 an hour
Probably
for
the
that.
same, yeah.
And it would be a certified food handler from Banwell is present in
okay,
the
sorry, I
kitchen.
missed that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we added that in there. So yeah, the AV
So
person,
Evelyn doesn't even have that, so it has to be another person yet.
I suppose so.
Although I'm sure she could get
She
it. If
doesn't-
you wanted to be the one there that day,
Well,
I'm
I
sure
mean-
she could get it, yeah.
No, she has to take the course and pass the test.
Thought it was just an online thing.
Just a couple things on. a
That's what
couple
I
of
thought it
hours
was, yeah.
online.
But yeah, I think we need to have someone in
thought
our
she would've
kitchen
had it
personnel there
online.
present. I think the wording is certified food handler from Banwell.
I agree. Yes, now that you say that. Mhm.
Certified food handler training.
They've got a few people like JP, we've got Kim.
Oh, yeah.
And Kim, was it?
Yeah.
Doesn't Kim?
But I don't know if anybody's gotten it besides those two.
But I think if it's being catered by an outside caterer, that should suffice as food handling.
Mm.
And Evelyn's just their supervision to make sure the kitchen is, so it
Yeah.
doesn't go out of whack.
But I'm wondering about the number 200. Should we kind of limit that a little less?
They've asked for 150.
That's what she
but
got the last
with
time, I
like
believe.
200.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I wonder if we couldn't say, max X amount of people, whatever we decide, because 200 is starting to get way up there.
What,
It's 8 hours, $99
really? Is it in person or online?
online.
Oh, okay. What does our rental form say our max capacity is in the gymnasium?
Oh man. You're died.
Okay.
I think it's 200 for sitting and
Banquet seats
300
too.
and something for if you're just
Chairs,
doing
yeah.
chairs. Because Henry wanted a party for 250.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just putting it out there, just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we don't.
My sense would be to waive the rental fee, but just charge the personnel
Mhm.
fee. Because we do have to recoup that. Those people do need to be paid. And whether they receive it or not, they still need to be paid and they can donate it back. We
Mhm.
just have to set a precedent. And yeah, I think that's where I would
Mhm.
kind of land with it. I think it's fair and it's generous.
Yeah, our form does say 200 people for a banquet.
Okay.
$50 an hour. That's what I was kind of leaning towards as well, that they pay the security fee and and the food handler fees and the AV fees, but that we waive the $50 per hour for the actual gym usage. I think that would be a nice offering to them.
Mhm.
While still helping us out and covering the cost of the people.
Yeah, and my sense is kitchen would be a certain block of time, AV would be a smaller block of time, and security would be a different block of
Yeah.
time. So it's all in the questions that you asked. How long are you
Right.
gonna need the kitchen? How long do you need to set up?
Mhm.
Even if they need to come in and set up, the time they need to do that could be like during Chantel's hours when she's around. And we don't need someone supervising if they're just, putting centerpieces on tables kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I think they did set up and take down the last time. I don't know how that actually.
But
Yeah,
are we actually expecting Chantel to supervise
Absolutely
that?
not. She can't do the set. Is that what you're gonna say is the setup?
No.
No, she can't.
No, I mean, to supervise that,
Oh.
like,
Well, to be honest, she's off that week, so no.
oh,
We
It
would
would
generally
be-
expect her to coordinate it though, right? Even if she's not supervising it herself specifically. That would be like, once she kind of falls into this
Into
new
that
role,
role.
that would be her responsibility to make the phone call, see who's available to supervise the kitchen, who's available to supervise security and make all those coordinations. And maybe she does one of those roles, maybe she doesn't, but she would at least coordinate it all, correct?
Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
the other thing we might say to them is, June the 4th is probably the better date, because that's when
Because
Chantel
she's there.
gonna be around for that. I think that would be, on our side of things, more ideal, because if she's away, it's gonna be,
Yeah.
whoever's in her place is gonna be out of their depth,
Mhm.
all of that.
Okay, well, and as Pastor Steve and I spoke before, we also do need to find out, do we have the person that can be the IT person here
I see.
on either of those 2 days? Because
Yeah.
if we don't, then it can't go. So that's what I responded
yeah.
back to her, Heidi, to say, okay, now I have a date, we have to find out, do we have the personnel to manage this? And I'll get back to you.
Yeah, and if nobody from the AV team is available, then it might just be that it's unavailable that day. I mean, I know it's not rented, but it's technically unavailable if we don't have the personnel here to staff it.
Mhm.
Well, the backup for AV is the portable unit, that's free. We don't, that's the Bose.
the tower.
We
Yeah,
want
the
something
tower.
on the stage.
But if they want the stage, like audio visual, we definitely have to have the person
Mhm.
Yeah.
manning that. The other system, it's plug and play. You plug a
Mhm.
microphone, a keyboard into it, and you turn the volume up and down. It's pretty easy. but our system is a lot more complicated on the stage, yeah.
Thank you. Just that, that kind of thing is not normal. I
Yes.
think, That
Yeah.
kind of group.
Okay. So anything else pressing we need to discuss?
I have a question for Pastor Steve, but it only takes seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
It's about Peter here. Is this two different people?
Peter Machero. He actually just moved to Alberta.
Oh,
So,
Which-
but he wants to remain a member because he doesn't know how long Alberta is going to last.
what's his name? Is his name,
Uh,
is Peter this?
it's
or
got two
Peter
different
that?
last names. It's I think a cultural thing.
Oh,
Um,
so he's the same person.
same person, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
His email is karaoke and his like when you talk to him, it's Machero.
Really? So you really can't
I-
tell which one would be, right?
Put a slash or a hyphen.
I had him in, where is he's between Kettlewell and Jimenez, so I had him in as karaoke.
Okay.
But then somebody sent me something with this other last name, Mucheru, and I thought, is this two people or what?
So that's
Now I know.
yeah. I'm
That's
chatting
good.
with him.
And Jimenez, you know,
Pardon?
Jimenez, the Hispanics, they often have two last names too.
Oh, do they?
Fathers and mothers.
Oh, okay. And the only other thing, if you get a minute to send me all the last baptisms, the one that Glenn was in,
Okay, yeah.
because I want to keep up to date on
Sure,
it. And we haven't had, that's it, right? We've just had one baptismal ceremony,
That
and
was the
we're
last
waiting
one, yeah.
for a member's ceremony coming up, right?
That's right, yeah.
So good. Okay.
Perfect. Got it.
Thank you very much. And that's it.
Okay, motion to adjourn? Todd, second? Barb, all in favor? Right, can I close it in prayer?
Yeah.
Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for Banwell Community Church and thank you for all the people in it, Father. Please thank you for blessing our time together. Please help us and guide us as we navigate this outpost of the kingdom of heaven. Father, please be with us as we travel into our evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, I got you already.
Yeah, that's.
That's a record.